Hi guys. Hello. Welcome all. One second. So, ಎಲ್ಲ ರೆಡಿ ಇದೀರಾ? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ EWC ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ. ದಿಸ್ ದ ಕೋಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಚ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ. EWC ಇವತ್ತು ವ್ಯಾಲೋರೆಂಟ್ ಗೇಮ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ. ಈಗ್ಲಾ? ಹಲೋ ಶಿವ ಅವರೇ, ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಟು ದ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್. ಹೈಪರ್ ಊಟ. ಯಾ, ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಟು ಭೂಮಿ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಚಾನಲ್. ನಾನು ನಮ್ಮ ಭೂಮಿ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೀ ಭೂಮಿ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್. ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಟು ಮನದನ್. ಸೊ ಈ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿ EWC ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. EWC ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೀತಿರೋ ವ್ಯಾಲೋರೆಂಟ್ ಗೇಮ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಮೆನಿ ಆಫ್ ದಮ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋಲ್ಲ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ನಾನು BGM ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಆಡ್ತಿರ್ತೀನಿ. ಮೆನಿ ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಸೊ ಮೆನಿ ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ನಾನು BGM ಏನಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ನೋಡಿ ದಿಸ್ ದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ನಾನು ಬೇರೆ ಗೇಮ್ನ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋದು. ಅದೊಂದು ಹೇಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಗೋ, ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಯು, ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಡೂ ನ್ಯೂ ಥಿಂಗ್. ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ. ಸೊ ಯಾ, ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಓಕೆ ವಯಸ್ಸು. ವಾವ್, ಆನ್ ಟೈಮಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋ ಟೈಮ್ಗೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ. ವೈಟ್ ಸಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸೀಸ್. ಹಲೋ ಶಿವ, ವನಕಮ್, ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಟು ಭೂಮಿ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಲೈವ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್. ನನ್ರಿ ಬಂದು ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? ಒಂದು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಇರು. ಓ ಹಲೋ ಕಿಂಗ್ ಮಿಕ್ಕು, ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಗೈಸ್. ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ. ವಿಲ್ ಪ್ಲೇ ಟುಗೆದರ್ ಒನ್ ಟೈಮ್. ಡಿಡ್ ವಿ ಪ್ಲೇ ಆರ್ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಪ್ಲೇ? ಟಗಿಂಗ್ ಇಡ್ತಿಡು. ಒನ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ನೋಡ, ಎರಡೊಂದು ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ತೊಂದರೆ ಇದ್ಯಾಕೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಡಿದ? ನಾನು ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ನ. ಓಹ್ ಸಾರಿ. EWC ಪ್ಯಾರಿಸಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾನಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಲಾನ್ ಇದು. ವಿ ಪ್ಲೇಡ್, ಹೌದಾ? ಕ್ರೇಜಿ. ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ? ಏನಾದರೂ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾ? ನನಗೆ ಲ್ಯಾಗ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರ್ತಿದೆಯಾ ಅಥವಾ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಲ್ಯಾಗ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ? ಹೌದಾ? ಏ ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಮೂತ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿ, ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗೋದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಹೇ ಭೂಮಿ, ವಾಟ್ಸ್ ಅಪ್? ಹೌ ಯು? ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗುಡ್ ಐಶು ಅವರೇ, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. ಹೆಂಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ನಂಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಇದು ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ? ನೋಡ್ತೀನಿ, ನಾನು ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಅಷ್ಟೇನಾ? ಚಿಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲ. ಒನ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಗೈಸ್, ಯಾಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಲ್ಯಾಗ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ? ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ.
Decided to choose ascent against a Turkish team. Now, I don't know if maybe the words of advice, the words of wisdom haven't made it across the pond, but that's a mistake for almost
This is ಒನ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಗೈಸ್, ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್. ತುಂಬ ಲ್ಯಾಗ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ, ವೆರಿ ಲ್ಯಾಗ್. ಒನ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಇರ್ರು.
Example, like a split or a haven, you go, okay, he plays raise. Okay, and what does he play on breeze? Harbor. Yeah, cool. Name me another player that does that too often. Marder. Okay, I've named another one, but that's not the point. There's not many, so I think that you do lose quite a lot with him not being there, other than just raw firepower. But I also do think that a lot of the time players going to go, okay, less pressure because of that, and also it's my time to shine.
Yeah, I think we've seen that level of flexibility on this roster as well. I think you're pointing out Jenny is the one taking the raise here.
Yep.
Like, he has been coming in as a flex, and I think it's a more and more important thing as time goes on. Sure, you can have players like a Lover's Rock, who back in the Euro meta plays only the Euro, or here will play mostly just your Neon or your Duelists. But it is important for the majority of players out there. If you're not that star, if you're not the guy that puts up the 1% stats on that agent, that you can flex between it, because we've seen now there's maps where you don't like.
Sounds okay,
teams are steering away from playing a Sentinel. So if you're a Sentinel main, you can't play anything but Sentinel. You're not going to be a very good part of the
I'll disagree with you
Breeze
for only one reason, and it's not that you're wrong. It's that I think even the players in the top 1% have to flex nowadays.
ಫುಲ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೇನೆ ಫುಲ್ ಆಗೋದಿದೆ.
Even the players in the top 1% have to flex nowadays.
Sure.
Like look at LaRock.
Yeah, I like that.
I would say LaRock is top 1% in most things he does. He is one of the most flexible players in the world, and that's what makes him even more valuable.
Someone that I wish to own, man.
Top 1%.
No, but he was.
In the pro
he
scene.
was at one point, and if he kept with the gem, maybe he
Okay.
would still, man.
ಲೆಟ್ಸ್
he
ಗೋ.
was the Turkish jet, and now he's
ಒಂದು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿ 2 ಮಿನಿಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಕಣೆ ಅಂತ ಬಂದೆ.
It's an aged reference, you know. The last few years,
Fuck.
maybe he's been knocked down a few pegs or.
Yeah, his jet was still pretty good, to be fair to him. And I think that is also, again, something that we're going to see throughout this series is on certain maps, like
I hope
on Ascent, like where you
ನಾನು
get
ಕಾಣ್ತಾ
that
ಇದೆ.
from Lovers Rock. That's one of the most interesting maps actually coming up because, again, you go through the different maps and you talk about LaRock and what he's been playing. You got Haven, you got Phoenix. Great, okay. You got Split, you got a Raze. Okay, that makes sense. Breeze, he plays Jet. These are all similar agents. So I have Fracture, Neon. Again, Lotus the Red. What does he play on Ascent? Deadlock. So, again,
Stuck ಆಗಿದ್ಯಾ?
they've looked at and gone, well, they're playing one of their star players on an agent that kind of has you focusing on utility a lot of the time. Very much.
ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರನ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಲೇಟ್ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ, ಡಿಲೇ ಇದೆ. ನಂದು ಹಿಂಗಾಗೋದು.
Where you're going to put in the net rather than him just being able to shoot you in the face could be something considered. Is there are some teams, and they are one of them, that wasn't at Masters London. So they have been practicing solely for this.
Voice ಆಗ್ಬಿಡಿ. ಹೆಲೋ. ಹಾಯ್. ಆಗೋಗ್ಲೆ ಇವಾಗ ನೋಡು. ಈಗ ನಾನು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ರೀಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಅದು ನಾನು ಹಾಕಿದೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್. ಓಕೆ, ಇವಾಗ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡು ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ ಅಂತ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾಲ್ ಹಾಕು. ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಮೂತಾಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇದೇ ತಲೆನೋವು ನನಗೆ. ನಾನು ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಿತ್ತು, ನಾನು ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಹಾಗೆ ಬಂದು ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆದೆ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಮೈ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್, ಐ ಆಮ್ ಸಾರಿ. ಇದು ಸ್ಮೂತಾಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಿದೆ ಐ ಗೆಸ್. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಇಲ್ಲ. Okay, guys. Hello, Xisi, and welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for joining. ನಾನು ಬರೋದು ಲೇಟ್ ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು EWC ನಲ್ಲಿ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ. ನಾನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮು ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ಅವ್ರು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಆಡ್ತಾರೆ ನೋಡೋಣ ಅಂತ ಬಂದ್ರಿ. ಶಾಕು. 23K ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ಸ್ ನೋಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಟ್ ಎ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ. 2403 ಜನ ಲೈವ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮಿಗೆ ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಇನ್ನು ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ಅಪ್ಲೋಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಅಂತ ಏನೋ ಬಂತು, ಈಗ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ EWC ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ನೆನ್ನೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋಯ್ತು. ನಾನು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಇವತ್ತಿಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ನಾನು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನನಗೆ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಗೊತ್ತು. ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಲೆಜೆಂಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ ಅಂತ ಯಾವುದೋ ಬರ್ತಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಗೇಮ್ದು. ನಂಗೆ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ನಾಲೆಜ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾಡೋಕೆ ಹೋಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಂದರೆ ಈಗ ಕೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ರಿ, ಈಗ ಇದೇನು ನಿಂಗೆ ಫುಲ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಇದು ನಂಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ನನ್ನ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆಡ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೈ ಡಿಸ್ಕೌಟ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಆಡ್ತಿದ್ರು. ನೋಡ್ದಾಗ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತು, ಸೊ ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಲೆಜೆಂಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನೋಡೋದರ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇದನ್ನು ಚೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಲೈವ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಬೈದವೇ ಇನ್ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವ ಗೇಮ್ ಆದರೂ ಎನಿವೇ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರು ಬಂದು ಆಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ, ಐ ಮೀನ್ ನೋಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಆಡೋ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ, ಆಡೋದು ಬರೀ BGMM ಹತ್ರ. ನೋಡೋ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ವಾಟ್ಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಒಪಿನಿಯನ್ ಗೈಸ್? ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಶೇರ್ ಮೈ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್. 45 ಮಿನಿಟ್ಸ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಆಗಲೇ. ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ಬರದು ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಶೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಏನು ಸಕ್ಕತ್ತಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? ಎಲ್ಲ ಚೈನೀಸ್ ಪೇಸ್ಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ Lorak. Sorry if I'm spelling it. Hello Suchi, welcome. Hello Yogesh, welcome to the stream. Thank you guys, thank you for joining. ನಿಮ್ದು ಭೇಟಿ ಪ್ರಮೋಷನ್ ನಾನು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾ? ಬಿಟ್ರಲ್ಲ ತೆಗಿರಲ್ಲ ನಂಗೆ ಕಾಪರೇಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಾ ನೀವು ಬೇಡ ಗೈಸ್ ಎಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಮಲ್ಲೇ ಕೂತಿರೋಣ ಅದು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋವರೆಗೂ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದಲ್ವಾ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಓಕೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಈ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಾ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಈಗ ನಡೀತಾ ಇರೋದು ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಎ ಮತ್ತು ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಎ ಮತ್ತು ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಎ ಸಾರಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ ಎ ಮತ್ತು ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ ಬಿ ಅಟ್ ಅ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೀತಿದೆ ಮ್ಯಾಚಸ್ಸು ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ ಎದು ಈ ಕತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಬಿ ಏನು ಕತೆ ಆಗೈತೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಇವ್ರದ್ದಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರಲ್ಲ ತಾನೇ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಇನ್ KGC EWC ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು ವಾಚ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ EWC I don't know anyone is doing EWC Valorant watch party Kannada. Proud Bhumi. One 2 minutes ಇರಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮತ್ತೆ 2 minutes ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ತಾನೇ ಉರಿಯೋದು ಸರಿ ಈ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ತಾನೇ ಮತ್ತೆ 2 minutes ಕೊಟ್ಟವ್ರು ಇವ್ರು ಯಾರು ಕಾಪಿರೈಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟರು ಓಕೆ ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ ಈ ಹೋಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ವೈ ಶುಡ್ ಐ ಕಿಡಿಂಗ್ EWC ಬಂದು ಅಫಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೋ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಟು ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ವೈಟ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಚಾನಲ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಸೊ ಆ ಫಾರ್ಮೆಟಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೋದು ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಏನು ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಇರಲ್ಲ ನನ್ನ ಬರ್ಡೇಗೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಶ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲಿಪ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದು ನಿನ್ನ ಬರ್ಡೇ ದಿನದ್ದು ಕ್ಲಿಪ್ಪನ್ನು ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಹುಡುಕ್ಲಿ ಅಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ ಇದೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಬರ್ಡೇ ದಿನದ್ದು ಕ್ಲಿಪ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಕಳಿಸು ನಾನು ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀನಿ ಇದನ್ನ ವಾಚ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ನಾನು ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ಲಿ Are you allowed for EWC watch party? Yeah. I'm allowed. That's what I mentioned yesterday and I said everything yesterday, right? ಇವರೆಲ್ಲ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಬಂದು ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಎ ಟೀಮೇಟ್ಸ್ ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಎನಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೋ 2 ಟೀಮ್ ಇದೆ ಸೊ ಒಂದು ಬಂದು ನಾರ್ತ್ ಅಮೇರಿಕಾದ ಒಂದು ಟೀಮು ಚೈನೀಸ್ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಚೀನಾ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಟೀಮ್ ಇದೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು 2 ಟೀಮ್ ಇದೆ ಟಿಪ್ಪೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ನಾನು ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಇದು ಎಡ್ವಿನ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಇದು ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ ಬಿದು ಅಮ್ಮ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೆಕಗ್ನೈಸ್ ದ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ವೆರಿ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಹೌ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಓ ನಾನು ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಹಾಕಿಲ್ಲ ಸಾರಿ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಡಿಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಹಾಯ್ ಗೈಸ್ ಲೈವಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ತಗೋ ಫೋಟೋ ಇತ್ತು ಹಾಯ್ ಗೈಸ್ ಲೈವಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೇನೆ ಟ್ಯಾಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊ ಬಂದು ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಥರ BGMI ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ವ್ಯಾಲೋರೆಂಟ್ ವಾಚ್ ಪಾರ್ಟಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ ಇದೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಗೂ ತಮಿಳಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಗೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ಮಾಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಐ ಆಮ್ ದ ಒನ್ ಹೂ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ EWC ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗಿ ಈ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೇನೆ ಬಂದು ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಸಿಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ಭೂಮಿ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್ಚ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇನ್ ದ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡ್ತೇನೆ ಇವ್ರು ಇವತ್ತೇ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಂಗೆ ಡೌಟ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾ ಗೈಸ್. What's going on chat? ಇದ್ಯಾವುದೇ ಇದೆ EWC ಪೇ ಔಟ್. ಏನಿದೆ EWC ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಯಾವುದೇ ಪೇ ಔಟ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. I don't know. I didn't. yesterday ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅಫಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮಿಂಗ್ ಇದು ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ. ನಾನು ಬ್ರಾಡ್ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ. ವಾವ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು. ಅಲ್ಟಿ.
And welcome back, folks. Apologies for the delay, but it seems we're ready to get underway. BBL versus EDG. And listen, this is a game that's certainly worth the wait, Tom, for EDG coming in with a stand-in. We know that they're the favorites on paper, but that change, we don't know how that's going to measure up against the BBL, who've had a lot of time to prepare for this event.
ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮಾತಾಡಬಾರ್ದು.
Masters London, the other has
Wait,
been preparing all the way since the end of stage 1. And after the qualifier, of course. They had to win the qualifier, otherwise they wouldn't be here at all. But I think it's an opportunity for BBL to go up against a slightly weakened version of one of the greats. A top 3 over at Masters, definitely not a team to shy away from. And I don't think it makes it easy for them by any stretch of the imagination. I think they're still going to have to come up against some incredible players. It's just whether or not
done. So some technical issues
over the line. And of course, as I said, when looking back at Group A in general,
hello Asian Gamer, welcome to.
We've got a lot of sort of teams that I think have a point to prove. RRQ, 100 Thieves are the other two alongside the two we have on the stage right now. So I think that I don't expect there to be any easy games, but the two teams that are coming out of it, I think will be incredibly happy. And if EDG aren't one of them, again, you can't really blame them. They are playing with one of their coaching staff in the mix. But at the same time, I think you look at players like Khan, and he's never wanting to lose. He's never wanting to go out of them, no matter the circumstances. So I think that's going to be very interesting.
I did MLA 2.
We can kind of, like, as I'm guessing, we still maybe have an odd tech issue.
2 matches bandi simultaneously. And Group A ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ.
Because like Group B, C, and D, I feel like there's an obvious
background sound ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ, you know?
Just to make things a little bit easier. Group B is absolutely stacked.
Hello Tarun, welcome to.
Group B is ridiculous.
Like the fact that you have obviously Payprex of Vitality, 2 teams that managed to get top 4 at the previous.
Like they're still chilling, guys.
You have NRG, who are our current reigning
chilling
of the VCT after last
year. Lana.
who I feel like it's their
BHMIಗೆ ಹೋಯಿತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇದೇ ತರ ಪ್ರೀಮಿಯಂ ಇದು ಇರುತ್ತೆ. I'm very excited to do BHMI. I mean PUBG. Hi Mohan, welcome.
They were trash and they turned it around, man. They started to look good and I thought this could be their redemption arc. And then you see those groups, bro.
Sound ಕೇಳಿಸಿದಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರದು.
They finally had a chance to do something. The roster must have been so hyped to get.
ಒಬ್ಬರಾದ್ರೂ ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಪೊಸಿಷನ್ ಅವರು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಕೀಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇವರೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋ ಲೆವೆಲ್ಗೆ ಇದೆ ಎಲ್ಲರದು.
We have to basically win the grand final in the group stage.
First time
we got to win like 3 grand finals. Bro.
What is this? EWC.
They went 0-5 in the group stage, got eliminated and lost.
Valorant ನಡೀತದ. Valorant matches.
They've obviously removed their head coach, and now Zeiss has taken over. And it seemed to revitalize them going into that EWC qualifier.
ಏನ್ ನಡೀತಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, but going there. ವೆಬ್ಕ್ಯಾಮ್ ಸೈಡಲ್ಲಿ ಇಡಂತೆ. ಅವ್ರ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಈ ಕಡೆ ಸೈಡಲ್ಲಿ 1 ಟೀಮ್ದು, ಈ ಕಡೆ ಸೈಡಲ್ಲಿ 1 ಟೀಮ್ದು ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾನು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಕೂಡಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ನಂಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಂತ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬರಡ ನೋಡಿ ಮನೆಗೂ ನಡಿ ಅಂತೆ ನಂಗೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಂಜೆ ಅವರೇ ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್. ಸೌಂಡ್ ಬರ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ
The
half
2
ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದೆ.
maps.
ಇವಾಗ
The rest of the
ಬರ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ?
team were a bit underwhelming, but that means they come into this one, obviously, again, with a bit more prep time because they went out early, but also with a point to prove that they are still that team that managed to win champions last year. And, yeah, Vitality, making it top
Probably
4.
ಅಲ್ಲೇನೋ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್
I think
ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್
for me,
ಆಗಿದೆ
there's
ಅಂತ.
still... I don't want to say there's a point to prove because I think they've
ಮೈಕ್ದು
done well,
ಏನಾದ್ರೂ
but
ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕಾ?
expectations on that roster are incredibly high. But also, they only really beat EMEA.
ಯಾರು ನಮ್ಮ
Like
ಕಲರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರು
that's the one
accurate
caveat I have with Masters London is
That
I
is
think
why
3
welcome
of
to the stream.
their
Thank you so much.
5 games, or maybe it was 6, were up against EMEA. The other team they beat,
ಇರೋರೆಲ್ಲ
the one
ಇರೋರೆಲ್ಲ
other
ನಮ್ಮ
team,
ಈಚೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ
was
ಅಲ್ಲಿ?
DRG, who I think we can safely say were probably the worst team in the tournament.
Sure.
So I want to see how they're going to come in because they're going to have to beat someone good if they're going to make it out of that group. And then, yeah, pay breaks. Like, one of the best teams in the world if they don't make it out of that group.
ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಲೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ.
It definitely
ಒಂದು
feels like
ಗಂಟೆ
you have
ಅಂದ್ರೆ
like
5 ಗಂಟೆ
Vitality,
5
KC,
ಅವರ್ಸ್
and
ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್
NRG fighting for
ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ
the second
ಇಲ್ಲಿ
spot almost with
ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್
Paper X
11:30
in there, but then
ನಾನು
NRG
BGM
could be
ಯಾವಾಗ
like,
ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿ ಬೇಗ
this is
ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ.
horrendous. And for KC seeing their opening matchup against Vitality, look, maybe there's an
ಇವಾಗ
opportunity there with
ಬರ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
knowing them,
ಏ.
but after what we saw regionally,
Vitality always
Yeah.
beat the
Yeah,
EMEA team.
I don't think
ಹಿಂದೆ
I don't
ಜಾಸ್ತಿ
think
ಸೌಂಡ್
we're really in
ಬರ್ತಿದೆ.
that solid of a boat for the French fans. They'll have to cross their fingers and start doing some rituals if they're going to have any chance. Hometown heroes, maybe it makes a difference, but with no crowd here for
ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ
the
ಇದು
opening
ಚೈನೀಸ್
games,
ಟೀಮ್
somebody like that.
ಈಗ ನಮ್ದ್ರಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಹೆಂಗ್
Also
ಇವೆಂಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ
also,
ಅಲ್ಲಿ
yeah,
ವಿನ್
exactly.
ಆಗಿರೋ
Yeah.
ಫೈನಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಟಲ್
They're going to want it because that would be the
ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ.
thing. Getting
And
to
another
that
one is,
crowd later
ಇದು
on,
ಯಾವ್ದು ಅಂತ
obviously
I'm
getting
not
out of the
sure
groups will get you there.
ಕಂಟ್ರಿ
That's going to be a
ಹೇಳಿ.
big deal for KC. They have a massive
ಕಂಟ್ರಿ
fan
ಹಾಕೊಳ್ರಿ
base
ಗೈಸ್
that
ಪ್ಲೀಸ್.
will want that opportunity for cheer for their side. And another team that also fits that bill is
Oh,
the Gentlemen.
start
Obviously
ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ, I
having a hot
guess.
start to the year, kind of teetering off when it came to stage 1, but they're back. They made it through again, and another huge victory going through the qualifier.
ಯಾವಾಗ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್
And their
ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ
group, I don't want to say it's not. It's
ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ
hard.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ
It's easier than
ಪ್ರೋ
Group
ಪ್ಲೇಯರ್ಸ್
B.
ಬೇರೆ ಇದಾರೆ
It's
ಅಂತ
not
ಓಕೆ
easy
Exactly.
because you
we need
have
to find
okay,
out who are
G2,
those pro players
no matter
ಅಂತ
what you
ಲೇಔಟ್
think
ಇಲ್ಲ
of their recent
ಅಂತಂದ್ರು
form, we're not doing the
ಮಾಡಿದಲ್ಲ
best
ವೇಸ್ಟ್
in the sort of
ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ
playoff stage,
ಸಿಕ್ಕಿರೋದನ್ನ ಹಾಳು
technically not
ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಬಾರ್ದು
winning a
ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ
game, but
ದುಡ್ಡನ್ನ
obviously they
ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್
went straight
ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು
into the top
ಮಾಡೋ
8, so it's
ತಪ್ಪು
a little bit
ಇರುತ್ತೆ.
different.
ಐ ಗಾಟ್ ಲೈಕ್
They
ಜೀರೋ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟೇಷನ್
always-
ಅಂತ ಹಾಕಿತ್ತು
Maybe
I got
some will
opportunity
factor
in
in that. They
second
always
too,
make
ಅಲ್ಲ?
out groups. They're
So
always a
can
team that makes it into
trap
that playoff
more
stage.
audience,
When we talk about them
more
having a
reach
bad
people.
tournament, that's still within the top 8. And when we talk about them all
Well
the
then
way through the
ಯಾರ
rest of the last few years,
ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟಿವ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ
them
ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ
not
ನನಗೆ
winning
ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕು
is
ಆಸ್
the
ಅ
fact
ಫೈವ್
that it's not a great
the one
event for
I'm
them
going
because
to
everybody
do,
has the expectations that they're
EWC,
always a
so I'm
contender.
the one
And I think
holding.
they're another one that
That's
after
great
not
answer.
really performing at Masters London is going to be very interesting, but it's way more interesting that they got
ಫೇವ್ರೆಟ್
XOT in
ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್
their
ಯಾವುದು
group.
ಸೀರಿಯಸ್
And that
ನನಗೆ
for me
ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ
is a bagger. You
ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ
laugh
ರಿಸರ್ಚ್
at a team
ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ
when you
ನೇಮ್
get
ಎಲ್ಲ
to
ಹಾಗೆ
pick them,
ಮರೆತು ಇತ್ತು
you're
ಅದ್ಯಾರೋ
giggling
ಸಪೋರ್ಟಿವ್
away at the
ಪ್ಲೇಯರ್ಸ್
fact that you
ಇರ್ತಾರೆ
get to play them,
ಅಂತ
they beat you,
ತುಂಬಾ ತುಂಬಾ
and
ತುಂಬಾ
now you
ಇದೆ
get to play them again, and it's
So,
almost
I
like
need
that,
to
wow,
see
you're not
ಇವಾಗ
laughing
this is the
anymore,
first
you're
match
probably
I'm
going to prep
seeing.
a bit more,
ವ್ಯಾಲೋರೆಂಟ್
and I think that could be a grudge
ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ
match.
ವ್ಯಾಲೋದು
And then
ನನಗೂ
the
ವ್ಯಾಲೋಗೂ
last
ತುಂಬಾ
team
ದೂರ
is
ಇದೆ
dog
ಓಕೆನಾ
shit.
ದಿಸ್
Like,
ಇಸ್
the
ದ
last
ಫಸ್ಟ್
team
ಮ್ಯಾಚ್
is-
ಐಮ್
alright.
ಸೀಯಿಂಗ್ ವ್ಯಾಲೋರೆಂಟ್
They
ಹೆಂಗ್
might be the
ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ
weirdest
ಏನು
team
ಅಂತ
this
ಹೇಳಿ
year. You
Yeah, for
win
sure.
the
First
first
player
Masters, then you
declared
go
out
out
of
of your own
Kabbalah.
region 7 to 8.
But this was, okay, maybe not 7 to 8, but we saw a lot of teams go from the Masters events to drop down to 5th to 6th, to drop down 7 to 8th. We've seen a lot of the teams that didn't make that Masters event the first time around, then
ಯಾವುದೇ
have a
ಇಲ್ಲಿ
very
ಲೈಟ್ ಆಫ್
deep run, if
ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ
not
ಫುಲ್
qualifying when it
ಕತ್ಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ
comes to
ಕುತ್ಕೊಂಡು
London.
ಸ್ಲೀಪ್
And I
ಮಾಡೋಣ
think
ಈ
the way this
ಹೆಡ್ಸೆಟ್
year
ಲೈಟ್ ಆಫ್
shaped up,
ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು
like the meta
ಹಿಂಗಿರುತ್ತೆ
changes between kickoff, between the international,
ಭೂಮಿ
between stage
ಅದು
1 were huge. And I think these pivots being made,
ತೆಗೆ
like we
ನೋಡಕ್
had teams
ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ
that
ಅಂತ
were
ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ
dominant
ನನ್ನ
because of the
ಕಣ್ಣೂರಿದೆ
Euro, then we had teams having to adapt out of that. It tested so many different facets and prep time. I think that's more excusable, but that's where,
ಸಾಕ್ರು
for me, I have that
ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು
excuse for what has
ನಾನು
happened.
ನಿಮ್ಗೆ
Now Nongshim need to come through here and show us, oh no, we are a contender. We just got caught off by the pace of everything.
What makes me the most excited going into this event is
ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ
just
ಒಂದು ಎರಡನೇ
one,
ಒಂದು ಎಷ್ಟು
and
ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿಲ್ಲ
I'm gonna be brutal here
It's
and say
streaming ಮಾಡಕ್
very,
ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋದು
very,
guys. Why I'm
very,
citing?
very obvious change was so throughout a lot of Pacific, they had Danby
Yeah, let's
flexing
score,
away from
ನಮ್ಮಿಂದ
Neon. It was between
ದೊಡ್ಡೋರಾ?
him and Francis who played Neon. And a lot of the time, it felt like it lent towards Francis. For the qualifier, they went back
ಎಷ್ಟು
to him.
ನರ್ವಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ
But it was
ಹೇಳಿ
kinda
ನೀವು
shared.
ಒಂದು
For the
ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಹೋಗಿ
qualifier, they went
ಕೂತಿದ್ದೀರಾ
back to him,
ಅದು
pretty much exclusively
ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್
playing
ರೋಲ್
Neon,
ಎಲ್ಲರೂ
and
ನೋಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ
they just
ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್
seemed to
ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್
fly their way
ಗ್ಲಿಚಸ್
through it.
ಆಗುತ್ತೆ
So I
ನಿಮ್ಗೆ
think
ಏನು
that
ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗ್ಲಿ
that's
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ
that for me
ಹೆಂಗಿರೋದು ನಿಮ್
is
ಫೀಲ್
more exciting. The fact that
ಹೌ
he's
ದೇ ಆರ್
back on
ಫೀಲಿಂಗ್
Neon.
ಸೊ ನರ್ವಸ್
At the beginning of the year,
ಅಂದ್ರೆ
he was the best
ಆಡೋ
Neon in
ಮೈಂಡ್
the
ಸೆಟ್
world. And
ಹೊಂಟೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ
it's
ಪೀಪಲ್ಗೆ
obviously the shotgun hurt him a bit as well
ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಹಿಂಗೆ
because
ಅಂತ
he
ಹೇಳಿ
was the king of Neon shotgun. But I think that for me, that is enough of a change to go like,
ಏನು
maybe they're not back to
ಅಂಡ್
winning the
ಓಮೆನ್
event.
ಒಳ್ಳೆ
I
ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್
still think
ನಿಮ್ಗೆ
they should be
ಗೊತ್ತಾಡೋರಿ
enough to
ಮಾಡಿ
get out of the
ಏನು
groups.
ಡಿಸ್ಕೋರ್ಡಿಗೆ
It
ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗಿ
makes it
ಸಿಟ್ ಅಂಡ್
interesting because I think that, again,
ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋದನ್ನ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ
mates
ನಮಗೂ
will have had all of that additional prep time. There would have been gunning for this event. We know that they, even again in the qualifier, they swapped roles. Beepo was going over to Sentinel, which actually, I'll be honest, I saw that on paper and went, that's not going to work, is it? And it did. It was great. And
Let's
I
go
think they were
for
putting
50
Mini on
scavenge,
Duelist
guys.
as well,
Chalo,
which
70.
is also
Normal
great.
like
So,
Madivandra, like Madkoli.
there's a lot to be
Let's go for
excited
20
for.
like.
And then XOG, again, they were another squad where I kind of went back into things and was like, my expectations on them are
And I
not
couldn't knew both of
that
guys.
high at Masters London, and they definitely exceeded them. Their victory versus G2 blew me away. So, I don't know. I think that with players like Happy Way, is going to be very, very interesting to see if he can keep up the level that he showed at Masters London, because he was so good. And then we have Group D, MLBR, GE, AG, and Heretics. And I look at that group, Mitch, as the random group, because it's like, oh, hello. Agent selects back.
Finally started though.
Okay, same agents as before, right? I don't think anything's changed. Sky still, Omen, got the jet raise.
Obviously,
Yeah, it looks about right. I can't see anything different. There we go. We're just showing again. I think the reason we're doing this is because, of course, it's been a little while. You guys have been sat waiting for the game to start, and you might have forgotten what agents people are playing. So we are going to we're showing you again.
I do very much like the Vice is
Okay,
being
it's
used by
gonna
both
start
sides.
now.
I think on this
There's
map, there's
value.
so much value to be had. Those Thorns, I mean, I think back to Benji, even when he was having a bad game on Heretics regionally, this guy was able to have so many rounds that he single-handedly won for the team just with the delay, just by sectioning off some players. Found a lot of strong rounds when it came to the defensive side, and I'm expecting to see the same from Kreven. There was something that Kuka brought up on the desk, but he has been sensational when it comes to the Vice, getting to play on comfort. And BBL knowing Ascent is up next. It's definitely a dangerous start for EDG, despite coming in here as a favorite. Like we've said, they have a stand-in, and now, with the way that the map veto's gone, maybe they could take it when we go to 3, but BBL have a chance if they can start strong. Still, perhaps we have to give the favor to EDG. As time ticks away, folks, it seems we are ready to roll. Barriers up, and away they go. BBL starting on the defense, and they've gone for an unusual strategy. A 4-man totem pole waiting on the stairs for any engagement. The second Con rounds this corner, he is gone. There's no way.
Smokes helped him out already.
Firing
squad. Lovers Rock on that defensive side. Neon has managed to give them the advantage. Early damage done. Rotation already coming back in for support. They're kind of trapped in the corner though. That's the only thing, and it seems like Signed is aware. Paranoia is solid. The slide out. It looked like maybe he could escape. Instead, the trade back and forth. And actually, Kreven's there to close the round. Maybe a little bit closer than they would have liked, but it is the round for BBL.
Yeah, that smoke threw a little bit of a spanner in the works, but BBL quick to adapt by just running through it to look for those battles together. You can see Con still getting his kill, despite being up against the numbers. And it does come very close, considering BBL had the right read on that play in terms of the boots on the ground. Right position, right time, the right result. 1-0. Now, here's where EDG don't have a lot to do. They didn't get a plan. There's no chance to really go for a convincing force buy. Instead, they want to play this as a full eco. The main thing for BBL, though, is they have one pistol. You do not want to see this be anywhere near a close round, and they've already lost the pistol.
I guess it's the one player you don't mind losing, but ultimately they're losing quite a bit more. This is getting a little bit dangerous until LaRock is there to close it out. A bit close for comfort, a bit costly, but it's still there.
Yeah, I think they lose an SMG, a Marshal, and a Sheriff. I will probably pick up the Sheriff. So it's not the end of the world. Definitely, the problem is that 2v2. There was a chance for a Bulldog to end up on the floor. But for BBL, a quick start. Indeed, 2-0. And this is where things get interesting. Coming into the full buy of EDG, LaRock 2 away from a showstopper. Lovers Rock as well could have the finger guns. And those 2 ultimates, or even one of them, can make a big difference in a round where there's so many weaknesses. BBL have to play this with all those losses in the last round as a super light buy. Barely anything invested. Already close to death.
Oh yeah, there's a hell of a lot of damage that's already been done. LaRock almost gone, Rose almost gone. A lot of the danger of this round seems to have diminished. Maybe if they can give Loiter a gun, that would be nice, but no, it's Kan just cleaning things up. Nice work from LaRock to at least get one back, but in the meantime, he was just selling a ruse, a push, going through to the other side of the map, and Gianni has already seen where Loiter is. His survival seems impossible, but he's managed to teleport back at least a little.
Kreven bought some time. Roses now finds himself a kill. This is a fantastic start, but left alone, he'll have to do all the hard work himself. 1 HP and a Bulldog, a clutch for the ages, and it's not to be. EDG sporting a few bruises, though, and they were up against a very light buy. I think BBL can keep their heads held high exiting that round, and for EDG, the goal now is to deal with the full buy.
Yeah, they did an unfathomable amount of damage
We
in
will
the first few seconds of the round,
great,
and then
guys.
after that point,
EDG.
plain
EDG is
sailing.
Nice.
But as you
If
said, this is
EDG
where
dominate
if that ult
ಆಯ್ತಂತ.
came online last round, it would have been great.
my God.
Instead, though, it's come online for this one. Operator for Lovers Rock. That was what I was mentioning about 30 minutes ago. I love his
Okay.
defensive side operator on that neon.
Discord ಈಗ
Fact is, though,
ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ.
early utility expended and a TP.
ನೀನು. Because you just joined.
Rock, there's the old pop, but Jenny's gonna snipe him out of the sky. Con controls the site, and walking through that smoke was a brave and bold play for Rose. Now a 2 versus 5 seconds into the round. You thought the damage last round was impressive. Well, they've basically won this one in the first 20. A save has to be called when Lovers Rock having an op as well. There's no way you want to throw this at a near unwinnable situation.
No, it's crazy how clean that was on entry,
Planned
especially
ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
Gianni's
ಕೆಲಸದ
reaction
ದಿನದ
shot just to be able to
Clean.
get rid of that showstopper because it was super dangerous on entry. But yeah, Kreven definitely under serious pressure early in the round, and
Two
I
versus
like it from EDG.
five.
A little bit more direct, very aggressive in their stance, and when you have that operator set up on the other side of the map, the fast pace into A could have caused them issues, but they basically won the round within the first 20 seconds.
Nice, one down, huh?
Well, 2-2 is where we end up for EDG. Denying those weapons won't be possible in the end. So at least
Domination
BBL
ಕೂಡ
get out of
ಹಂಗೆ
there.
ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
Sport
Neck to neck
doing
fight
what they were trying to
ತಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ
save,
ಇದು.
but
Literally
that was
neck to
such a
neck fight.
quick round from EDG. It's hard to even imagine from BBL's perspective. And the fact that they popped the showstopper, so it's costly not
Nice. ನೋಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರ್ತದೆ, but ಆಡೋಕೆ
just because it ruins
ಹೋಗ್ಬಾರ್ದು.
your economy, but it
ಈಸಿಗೆ
also takes a
ಹೇಗೆ
very
ಬರೋದು?
big ultimate
Discord link ಕೊಡ್ಲಾ?
out of the round and out of the game for a
Give my
while.
Discord link.
Now leaving 3 players onto pistols. It's still a better chance to win than the last round in the 2v5, sure.
ನಾನು ಸರ್ವರಿಗೆ ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗಿ
EDG
ಲಾಬಿಗೆ
looks
ಬಂದೆ.
set to take the lead here.
You need a hero play, and well, maybe the operator will be the one to do it. Lovers Rock able to dip in, dip out, get rid of Khan. Unfortunately, the additional weaponry not really possible, but they've gambled on the other 2 sides of the map. In fact, just look at where LaRock is already. Very deep positioning, pushing in on that flank.
ಲಾಬಿಗೆ ಬನ್ನಿ, ನಾನು
Sure, the
ಬರ್ತೀನಿ.
rotation to the B side still possible, but that's being watched
ಯಾರು ಬರ್ಬೇಕು
by
ಈಸಿಗೆ?
Kreven,
ನೋಡಿ
so
ಯಾರು
they at
ಬರ್ತೀರಾ?
least have information
Valorant ಬಗ್ಗೆ
there.
ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋರು ಬರ್ಬೇಕು.
And if
Normally you
LaRock
can
were to
join,
keep pushing, he
Discord,
might have a fast flank. However, that plant
down
is
to
going
flank
down,
ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ, server ಗೆ
and with the time
ಬರ್ತೀನಿ.
ticking in their
Pretty
favor
easy
and
fight
still
ಬರ್ತೀನಿ.
solid weaponry, I think EDG is still favored in this spot.
5th round.
Chew.
Already 1 down.
They think he's here, and they certainly know it now. Now he's in trouble. Headshots needed to bail him out, and well, Jenny comes to try to save the day. The pistols are doing damage, though. This is an advantage now for BBL, and they know where the last man is. But Jenny pops the showstopper. It'll buy him time, but he really wants that pick. Shots fired from behind. The showstopper won't land for the kill, though. LaRock ends up coming out on top by the skin of his teeth. That rocket almost took him out.
Yeah, he's actually a little bit unlucky. If the showstopper gets the kill, the fact that he's able to spin around and headshot the guy behind, real nice play, or real nice try from Gianni. But ultimately, that's a low buy round coming through for BBL. The operator of Lovers Rock, that flank from LaRock, also just Kreven buying time. Like you mentioned it, like him able to get a kill or 2 in the mix. Important stuff. 3-2. Lead brought back, and the economy has taken a little bit of a hit, but the Blade Storm will pad everything they need over on that EDG side.
Well, we've seen this delay on the C site from BBL work pretty well. Looks like EDG want to break through and deal with Kreven, but this time it's not Kreven. Instead, it's going to be a full setup. Initially, Lover's Rock takes the kill. A Seize nade thrown through as well, keeps them back, does damage, and the Blade Storm now looking a bit weaker. Skyhill comes through. Concon's back up to full, but running out of dash, wants to get in. Oh no, he dashes in! It's a crazy play, but it works out. He might die after one, but he buys the space. He breaks the defense and sends them scurrying back towards the C site. Numbers, even for now, but the attackers have an easy time.
Yeah.
They're going to change direction, and no matter where they go, they have an advantage.
Yeah, the Seekers gave it away. 2 Seekers after you get 2 kills. You know, okay, that was 4 players on the C site. That means there can only be 1 elsewhere, and it was not B. The wall only just getting tripped, but even still, it's a little bit of additional damage done onto Kreven. However, he still manages to win the fight. Puts it back into an advantage. Weaponry not in their favor, and Lotus just spammed a bullet through the smoke. It leaves it all onto Signed. He needs to try and clutch his first match for the team, and it's not going to be happening. Lover's Rock closes it down, and again, after a decent back and forth, the recovery is solid from BBL.
It's just a fantastic idea to come out of the gate with that aggression. We so often see it, especially the Seize nade. When it comes to the A site, much more rare to attempt it here. Leaving Rose embedded as well, at least trades out Concon. If he's not there and instead is in front of that Jet, it's a different game altogether. But keeping the numbers like that, buying a little bit of time, and then winning their fights when they came to it. And also a very lucky spam.
1 second. Hello?
Yeah.
My lord,
Can I know who is this?
4-2 for BBL. It is a good start to their defensive side, considering the 2 rounds EDG have been extremely dominant.
Oh,
I
love this C pressure.
Doraemon.
I like the adaptation from BBL to put Larocque there. He wants to try and fight them on it. Utility being sent out to clear him, and he's taking a lot of damage on the way back out. In fact, there's pressure in! This is enough for Concon to find the opener. Gianni has managed to add another. This C-side execute, once they've gone into position, is doing so much work in terms of damage. And once again, the players on the other side of the map, I was going to say, really don't have a choice but to save. I feel like Lover's Rock is looking for the classic, I got 1 kill, so, you know, that means I did damage. Bro, you've gone up, right? Leave. You can't leave now.
He doesn't have the choice.
Yeah, he could have before, but he can't now.
That's to stand his ground. The good thing is they don't know he's here, and it looks like they're going to slip right past. So for now, at least, if he continues flying under the radar, perhaps he'll get
voice
to
surely.
It won't work. Not with Sign. Oh my god, he's trying it. He's going to try it.
Wait, he might get it.
He could have time here. I think he's got time, and no
Hello,
one's close
Bruta.
by enough. It's going to be a spam from Sign. Has he got it? It's so close! Oh, no way! He goes Rock! Steals the round away!
I can't believe we just see someone 1v5 ninja defuse on the first map of the tournament. I can't believe it.
Even as he was running towards the site, I didn't believe that's what he was doing. And they all left, Tom! Why did they all leave? The Vice Slash doesn't they just left him. Oh,
I'm
what
like,
a
just
disaster.
I
Somehow
do
this man sticking around for 1 extra kill, giving him the round. 5-2 we go.
There's the 1 extra kill. It's at the beginning of the next round.
ಇವಾಗ ಸರಿ ಹೋಯ್ತಾ
Again, some weak play here. Obviously, it's
ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಡ
leave 1 stinger player behind. It wouldn't even matter if that man went down, but
I can't believe he won that, man. I can't believe he went for it even. Even just that was crazy.
ಅಲ್ಲ ಇದು 5th 7th
EDG's got to be kicking themselves into
ಕಿಕ್
the
ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ
BBL changing up their buy setup.
ಪರೋಟ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಡ ಪರೋಟ ಕನ್ನಡ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಲ್ವಾ ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಡ ಕನ್ನಡ ಸೌಂಡ್ಗಳನ್ನ
EDG are calling the freeze. They've waited for 20. Showstopper pop.
2 నిమిషం పేషెంట్
Down his target. Crusade 6-2. What should have been at least a fight back from EDG guaranteed. This game has become much more one-sided. One little mistake.
ఇదేనేదో డిఫ్యూజ్ టు
There you go. The diffuse delayed so they can get the operator. It has been having impact. Those early picks coming
ఏ
through.
ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಇವಾಗ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ ನೋಡಿ
Definitely causing them issues. I do like the fact that we're seeing both Jenny and Kankan at times really look to put the pressure onto that operator. It has been problematic to try and deal with.
But the
Of course,
EDG.
they've got plenty of credits to play with. They lost around with 5 players alive. That is a rare occurrence. It's whether or not they can start putting the rounds on the board, and again, they go
Good
towards the
one,
C side, and this time Lovers Rock is on that side of the map.
It's the same setup we've seen. Having the C's nade, having the op looking for the opening pick. EDG fell to this with ease last time.
ఓ
They're
ಎರಡು
on a fight
ಫಿನಿಶ್
now, though. Good trade back, and they've taken Lover's Rock. The
Bye
C
bye.
side's wide open. They can run in. The smoke in their way shouldn't delay them
2
by
versus
much.
3
Still with nobody having a dog to clear that out, but they decide not to put it through. And then the time wasted, Kravens covered that gap. Look at the TP though by Loida. It's huge. They're clearing it. They think he's here by dealing with him. This is another story. Chinchu. Well, they found 2 to close out the last round before he died. This time it would be enough to
ఏ
take it across the line. He's going to use his ult just to be safe in grabbing that spike.
ఇది క్రేజీ
Yeah, it might even work as bait though, because you could almost have assumed that he had it already.
1v1
Very,
ఇగా
very long rotation back from Loiter.
2 versus
Time will be ticking.
Ah.
Chichu's had an opportunity to reposition. I think the only problem he might have is starting to doubt where his opponent would be coming from. You go, okay, well, why is he taking so
ನಾನು
long?
ನಿಜ ಡಿಸ್ಕೌಂಟ್ ಇಂದ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಹೊಂಟೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ
Has he gone all the way around the back? He's sat in the corner, basically just trying to cover off as many angles as possible. Timing ticking away now for Loiter. And in the end for Chichu, it's all
Easy.
too easy.
ಲೋಯ್ದ
3
ವೇಟ್
kills for him in the
ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಾಗಿತ್ತು
round, and 3 rounds for EDG.
Yeah, a big
ವೇಟ್
clutch
ಮಾಡಿ ಆಡ್ಸ್ಬೋದ
for Chichu. A much needed
ವಾ
round for EDG
ಏ
as well.
ಡಿಸ್ಕೌಂಟಿಗೆ
We
ಬಾ
saw after losing
ಸ್ವಾಗೋ
in that 5v.
Hello.
Then you go to an international stage.
ಎಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೂಡ
Team like this.
Yeah.
That
It
is not the
doesn't
kind of
happen.
mistake that happens at this caliber.
Crazy stuff already happening for the economy. A little bit rough. Well, for Gianni, the showstopper has worked out this time, and the wraparound looking to come in from behind. The ult trying to pad the gap, and well, Kankan ends up with 2. Loiter ending up wall banged. Kreven decides he doesn't want to face into the Kankan operator, and honestly, that's okay. I don't think many people do.
You start an eco or low by round, a little bit of aggression, sure, but first one tap under his belt, but signed puts an end to that. 6-4 now. EDG with a chance to equalize still at the halftime.
Yeah, it was looking like a, especially after
Hello,
1v5,
hi.
potential
back.
for BBL to run away with this half, but that potential is slowly slipping away from
ಓ
really
ಏನದು
versus DRG, who they lost to both
ಡಾಮಿನೇಷನ್
times.
ಇರೋದು BBL ಎರಡು ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ
But of course, it's
ಎರಡು
hard to
ಮ್ಯಾಚಸ್ನ EDG ಗೆಲ್ಬೇಕು ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಎರಡು ರೌಂಡ್ಸ್ನ
these players even without.
ಸ್ಮೋಕ್ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಇದು
Nonetheless, and we're going to see this early aggressive start from LaRock. And actually, he's going to continue
One
his pushing,
down.
but it's almost worked out as bait for Loiter.
ಕ್ರೇಜಿ ಇದೆ ಇವ್ರದ್ದು ಹೆಡ್ ಶಾಟ್ಸು ಎರಡು 2 ಡೌನ್ ಕ್ರೇಜಿ
These last few rounds. He's found LaRock
2 ಡೌನ್
himself, but EDG was just going to cover in.
ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ
On the
ಸಾಯಲ್ವಾ
left,
ಇವರು
there's a wall in front of him.
EDG
And
ಅವರು
some thorns to his left. It might draw
I
the
guess,
eye of the rest of the squad,
VLB
but they
ಅವರು
don't see
ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ
anyone
ಆಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ
fighting them as they go through. They're suspicious. But
Oh.
Rose lands 2 in a row. A quick double the spike.
What the
The way till that
hell?
wall comes down.
Hello.
ಕ್ರೇಜಿ BBL
For halftime.
ಫುಲ್
I'm
ಡಾಮಿನೇಷನ್
very surprised that Rose got as much done from that corner. Normally I expect that to be a one and done. Of course, EDG were focusing more on the time.
See, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಡೌನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರಾ?
Because of that, they walk through.
Two
One's
down
looking
at
his
a
way,
time.
The other's obviously clearing the other angle. That player doesn't hit, he gets 2 for 1. It worked out
Crazy,
wonderfully for
crazy.
the
I guess
IGL of
ಈ
BBL.
round will win ಆಗೋದು BLB because somehow they are dominating.
Come out with an 8-4 half. Of course, 7-5 with a pistol and second round under their belt. Kind of what's expected. But either way, operator waiting for Kankan. He knows that a player is likely already crossed. It's Rose currently holding the operator.
But ಇವ್ರದೆಲ್ಲ ಹೆಡ್ಶಾಟ್ಗಳು ಏನು
Double of players. All going to be baited.
My
Instead, they go back
god.
towards the C site, which as of right now,
ಏನೋ
completely
ಗ್ರೆನೇಡ್
open.
ಅದು
It does look like
like
BBL is setting
ಗ್ರೆನೇಡ್
up
ತರ
for a
ವರ್ಕ್
retake,
ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ.
Yeah, that it does. I mean, they've got 4 players having pushed up on A. A lot of space taken there. The whole idea is to just fight this outside,
Yeah.
this attacker side of the map. And the idea from EDG
ಹಿಂಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೆ just
to the top. They go to the defender
headshots
spot,
ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು.
taking that as a nice foothold sequence.
Selling my
Go out and
Valo
tell
ID
them where to
skin
look.
single
One player towards water. That's going to be nobody searching for the kill, trying to make this
right.
comfortable for that player.
Oh.
And now
CG Realme 07,
the ult
welcome
going
to my
through.
channel.
No
and
Warthorn, sorry for the attacking side. They haven't got
you
anything
don't
to
get
slow
any
down
Valo
this,
players here.
BBL gonna run
I'm just
straight
doing
through.
voice
Already having
chat.
dodged the ultimate. They've got their weapons in hand, and now
It's hard you to
Sign
find
and
your.
Chichu have numbers against them. A smoke that's going to block them off, and the defuse can now be tapped. A spam through the smoke, the best that it gets, but they found him.
Mogolu.
Rose is down. 4 for Chichu.
Team again.
And Sign is there. to
Loita
close
is
it
still
out.
alive.
It will be 7
Oh.
to 5 at the half. The
Good.
lead for BBL,
Crazy,
but
crazy.
EDG not that far behind.
No, another great round coming out from Chichu. I think you can put at least 2
The
or
last
3.
5 rounds, he's on fire.
You could put at least a few down to him individually. Or just even the spam through the smoke, making sure they couldn't even
Loita
get
is
into
like
half. I think at that
end
point,
ವರೆಗೂ
Loita already knew
alive ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
that round was over. 7-5, a decent recovery, especially when you consider there was a 1v5 ninja defuse in the mix and you didn't win the pistol. I think that's not too bad for EDG.
Yeah, you know,
I
often
don't
we
know
talk
why,
about
but
pistol rounds
ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು
in a
boring ಅಂತ
situation like this,
ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ.
7-5, you're like, oh, the pistol made the difference here. That's what gave you the leg up. Now the 1v5. The 1v5 ninja defuse is what gave you the leg up there. That's tough. But for BBL, the
One
lead by 2
round.
indeed. It's something to work with, but I don't think they're out of the
ಹೋಗ್ತಿದೆ.
woods just yet. Mistakes from EDG allowing that ninja defuse through. That's a flash in the pan. I think this team is only going to get better and better as the tournament goes on as well. And that's always the effect that we
For
are going
30
to grow
likes.
more and more into that position. The team identity looked better, started to feel how to call in the game, and the team knew how to play around him as well. And that's exactly what I expect to see here for EDG. That signed experience is vital for any top-tier player. And so, he's coming in here with these guys. I don't just mean on-stage experience as a player. I mean with your team, right?
Yeah, of course.
And he's coming in here with a chance to build that day by day, already looking pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's also fun as well when you do have like a coach in the mix. Because you can have those additional inputs that you might normally have to call a tactical pause for. So it can give you additional value. Of course, what you lose is Smoggy, who's an insane player. So it definitely, I'm not going to say it's a full positive. I think there's some pretty hefty negatives in there. But he's held his own so far in the game. And of course, you still have crazy caliber
One round ಮುಗಿತು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದು round ಅಲ್ಲಿ 12 matches. I mean, one round ಅಲ್ಲಿ matches ಅಂತಾನೆ ಹೇಳೋದಲ್ವಾ?
What they have on offer. As said, when it comes to their regional victories, it's normally the attack side where they shine. But a lot of the time they
BBL
dominate
are
that
doing
first half
well.
so much that we don't actually see that much of their defensive side. So I'm excited to see what we're going to get. He's 7.
Okay, second round.
Genuinely, it's the last
Oh, it
5
continues
rounds,
ಇರುತ್ತಾ?
but
ಎಷ್ಟು matches
excluding
ಇರುತ್ತೆ
one.
total?
We got like a 2K out of 4, then a 2K clutch, and a 4K to close it out as well. Chichu's having a game, man. 7-5 though. Pistol round underway, and it's BBL on the attack. Lee said we're going to get a glimpse here at EDG on the defense, and it is
EDG ಬಂದು ಡಿಫೈನಿಂಗ್ ಇದೆ and BBL ಬಂದು ಈಗ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಮೋಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ.
for the late round. I like this idea.
Oh,
it does look
green
like
ಬಂದ್ರೆ
BBL are
attacking
late going to throw
defining
into that
mode,
space,
red
but
ಬಂದ್ರೆ
they're going to
attacking
open
mode.
the door, and that's
Nice.
where a problem forms for nobody.
ಅವರು
In fact, nobody's opened the door, and that has caused a problem for nobody. They're all around him. He's going to be taken down, but
Ugly
the
went down.
trade's at least favorable for EDG.
Yeah.
Great paranoia.
It did pretty well there.
So everyone have a separate powers and
It's like I'm pretty sure the wall ate most of those shots. I just saw his health bar disappear. Like, oh.
Well, look at the control though. Kreven's managed to get them into the A side. The thing I like from EDG though, they've grouped up. Bar one player. That one player's Kankan. I'll allow it.
Safe enough pair of hands if he's on his own. Enough pair of hands if he's on his own. Yeah, I'll certainly be believing in him. Plant coming through for BBL. A man down and a lot of HP missing.
Lota
He's
is
going to try to be the snake in the
healing,
grass,
I
and I
guess.
don't
Not
think they
even
saw his
healing.
pistol. There's a jump scare for Signed. But they're still hunting him down.
One more.
As reliable as he's been, it
One
seems
way
like
to
Lloyd has hit
nice.
another level in this pistol round. Already 3 kills under his belt, but he might need to do more. Kraven's the only one left on his team alongside him, but never mind holding the site.
BBL
For the Vice,
going
it is now 8
crazy.
on the board for BBL,
Ulti.
and an injection of rounds in this early half could make this a very dangerous series for EDG.
Yeah, that's both pistols under their belts as well, and I agree with you. I thought that Loiter would be dead to rights. The fact he gets 2 while on 8 HP, that's the defining part of the round. It eviscerates some of those fights. 8-5. Lead extended. Come on. Lover's Rock with a sniper back in his hands. What more do you need?
Another. Okay, ಇದು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರುತ್ತಾ?
Nobody, the sniper being the outlaw, but nobody even having shields. Should be an easy cleanup for any fights.
You're correct. Nobody doesn't have shields.
Well, technically, I said nobody has shields. So
exactly.
I'm incorrect because I said I would have said nobody does have shields, but I meant
attacking side already bro.
Try harder.
Sorry, yeah. I thought he had a shield beside his name, and it definitely wasn't the fact that his name is nobody, and it's an annoyance. Something, someone, and
Solo
nobody.
piece ಯಾರು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬೇಕು. Solo piece ಬಂದು ಹೋಗ್ತಿದೆ.
Sound like a hater.
It should be the cleanup, but the
one done
is a sniper on the other side, and in the hands of Con, it's good enough for the kill. Problem is, everyone else has classics.
Unchecked. I think he's got almost all of his kills from corners unchecked so far. He got 3 from one corner.
Yeah.
That's a 4th. I think he may only have 5, but we'll ignore that.
And he got Con in the back from the corner on C long.
Hey,
so
crazy
There
BBL.
you go.
Incredible.
He's just
Attacking
hiding in
mode
corners the
top
entire time. An easy cleanup for BBL, though,
defending
and
mode
now
alone
is
top.
where we basically need to see the break back from the side of EDG. Of course, this is their opponent's map choice, but we don't really know what to expect from Ascent going in. It's not a map that we've seen them play too much recently. In fact, too much might be an understatement. We haven't seen them play at all.
Yeah, there's something poetic about seeing the IGL only getting kills from positions of outplay.
Hey, you gotta be ratty sometimes.
I do like that. It's kind of how he should be playing. Well, for BBL, double digits if they can take this round. They've invested decently. 3 rifles, a Guardian, which is another rifle. I say rifles, I mean these ones. The big boys. Vandal up close,
hello.
not good for nobody. Caught pulling it out, and Loida gets an easy opener. The plant now on the B side as a result, but of course, Chichu not going quiet just yet.
A good nade, but the cover equally as good.
Yeah, with 4 HP.
Nice shot already. Onto Kankan as well. Leaves just 2 standing.
Dave call already.
Yeah, there's not really much of a choice. Now, it's interesting the position of that Vice Wall for Signed. It feels like they're leaving him boxed in on his own setup. Again, that's quite a common thing to do with a stand-in. The problem is, one of the normal positions for that wall is on B, so that you know that somebody's walked through. It's fine to not do that if you're very aware of the gap. I think you can tell from the way that nobody died. He was completely unaware from the gap. That can't happen again.
Yeah, it's not been the prettiest. Rose has gone down to the spike. Well, he was making sure they're not getting ninja diffused, and I can certainly appreciate that. Well played, Rose. But for EDG, uncharacteristic mistakes. That's the thing that's surprising. You had the 1v5 ninja diffuse earlier. You have this round as well, where BBL are allowed to simply walk up.
Lorok's giving them a round of applause.
Of course he is. Of course
Sorry,
he is. I
what a
haven't seen him
goal.
stand up all too much so far, but hey, there's plenty
Because
more
the
room to
seats
the
are so
series.
comfy.
Exactly. There you go. Sponsors are gonna love that one. That was a great hit. We've planned out a few of these for the day. So
Oh yeah, definitely.
What's next on the script? Well, 10-5, BBL in a very good position right now. They come into this. We spoke about it, EDG favorites, but we don't know how they'll play with the stand-in. To be honest, I'm not going to play him on the stand-in.
You're gonna
Top
play
down, it's looked a little
Valo.
bit messy
Right now, I
in some
don't
of the
play
rounds.
Valo. I don't know much about
We
Valo.
still need to see them wake up.
But future, I'm planning to play Volo. Is that motivated right now?
Very low bias.
For
No, all the
EWC.
info there for the defensive side.
Yeah. And I think that's the Bay. They're ready for Kankan's push.
Literally.
Jenny might be a bit more of a surprise.
Incredible.
Oh, hello! No! Signed.
ಹಿಂತಿರುಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮುಗ್ದೋಗ್ತೈತಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿ ನಾನು
Now the split back to B, but there's a player ready and waiting. Jenny has his nade primed again, can just look to slow them down. Paranoia in, and there's the man of the moment, Chichu with that rifle.
What's just happening?
Even escaping from this, you're still walking back into another player in the form of Signed. He's got himself an additional weapon, but there's Lover's Rock. 2 quick shots. But they still have to answer the question of where do we go from here? The C site seems the safest, and that allows for that rotation all the way back to the other side of the map and a post plant.
Oh, Lover's Rock almost getting caught. But he's on the right
edge.
Quickly able to slip away.
Okay.
Back to the C site. They know the outlaws lurking around, and for Signed, that's a big problem. Not so much, at least for now.
I want to see who is Loita there.
From the shadows, he's out the backside. Spots crazy. They definitely have the info to work with. Loita as the same himself. Lover's Rock wraps around. They double swing, take Signed down, and leave Chichu in an battle the nerves.
Yeah, I think it might be one of those games where you're just kind of going like, okay, let's go with the flow. Let's learn.
Is it a character name or a person name?
But also, yeah, as you sort of said, I think a lot of the mistakes have been
Loita,
a bit more blatant. I don't think
crazy
necessarily need to be told.
Andre character name, Omen.
Chichu though, still having an insane game. He's being matched at least by 1 or 2. Gianni tries to get aggressive, but
finish
hangge to try and catch them out. Lover's Rock, he's already taken quite a bit of damage. A push in towards Chichu might not be advised. Ooh, maybe now it will be. Tries to TP away.
And again,
look at the space that's already been claimed.
Nice shot by Kankan, but we need another to pull them back into this round. The other problem being with plenty of members to this attacking side, they don't need to worry all too much.
Sniping. Nice.
Rotating that player through.
But it will work
coming through is a big problem. Signed has not been spotted. They seem to have no to rotate through, but when he does, it's too little too late. Big round for EDG.
Yeah.
Right in the nick of time as well.
EDG after a long time
great work on the
round
timing on the flank. But the big player in this round is Kankan. Because not only does he get these 2 kills, I do think this is audacious from Lover's Rock.
Hello Glory Bhai, welcome
but
to
then
the
he
stream.
starts baiting for his
After a
teammate.
very long time, ಏನು ಮಾಡತ್ತಿದ್ರಿ
But
ಬೈ
if you have a guy on jet jumping around with his knives out, you're looking
Actually
at that guy.
Valorant
You're
ಕೋಸ್ಟೇ
looking at the
ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ
guy who's
EWC
the biggest threat in the
World Cup
server
ವಾಚ್
most of
ಪಟ್ಟಿ
the
ಎಕ್ಸೆ
time.
ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ
And that's
ಎಲ್ಲ
the
ಗೇಮ್
moment it
ಇದೆ
gives
ಸೊ
the
ಯಾಕೆ
Sign
ವೇಸ್ಟ್
the
ಮಾಡೋದು
opportunity
ಅಂತ
to
ಹೇಳಿ
strike.
ವಾಚ್ ಪಟ್ಟಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ
11-6. A break back after 4 in a row.
ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಗೋ ಫಾರ್ 30
This is
likes
the first of many.
ಊಟ
Or a
ತಿನ್ಪ
blip.
Oh, LaRock having
But
no luck
gone,
when it comes to
two
these showstoppers. He's
gone.
picked out of the air again.
ನಾವು ನೇರ್ ತಗೊಂಡು
3
ಎಸ್ಬಿಡೋದು
versus 4. Damage
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ನು
done to
ಸತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ
Rose.
ಅವನು
He'll be
ತಗೋ
taken
ಇದು
down
ಕೊಂಡು
with ease, miles away, and the
1v3
showstopper
ಕೊಂಡು
plans for
ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ
damage.
ಅವನು
No room for error. And EDG, well, EDG were making an easy
again
goal of it, but
see
now Signed
the
and
pattern
Chichu
is ಯಾರು ಸತ್ರು ಬಿದ್ರು
put away from the ult on
Loita
Loita,
is
he
the
can run,
one who
take
alive till
that
last
outside C, and then plant with ease. This has turned into a much more dangerous round.
ಬರೀ
Good.
ವಾಚ್ ಪಟ್ಟಿ
There's
ಮಾಡಿ
the orb. It does seem like this has been thought of though. Look at Chichu. Chichu is so ahead of the game.
ಕಬಡ್ಡಿ ವಾಚ್ ಪಟ್ಟಿ ಮಾಡಿ
He's
ಕಬಡ್ಡಿ
so ahead of it.
ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ
He's so
EWC
ahead of
ಇದು
it.
ಈ
He knows
ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್
exactly what's
ಕಪ್
coming. He's going to be
ಇನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ
waiting for his opponent. The
ಇನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ
second he goes to the plan, you thought he had a big
ಲೋಹಿತಾನು
brain
ಹೋಯ್ತು
play, Loita, but
ಈ
Chichu's
ಲೋಹಿತಾ
brain is even bigger.
ಬಂದು
He's
ಅಟ್ಯಾಕಿಂಗ್
there
ಮೂಡಲ್ಲಿ
way
ಇದ್ದಾಗ
before anyone would have expected.
ಡಿಫೈನಿಂಗ್
Still
ಮೂಡಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾಗ
carry
he is
races.
the
I feel
one
like
who
Chichu's
define
MVP. The guys
but
just
when
keep
it's come
putting
to
in the
attacking
shift,
mode
man. So many impressive
ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ
rounds across this map. He's
ಇದು
kept them in.
ಎಡವಟ್
And this would
ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ
have
ಅವರು
been a very flat first half, if not for him, and it would have been a game over. Although absolutely anyone watching the 1v5 defuse would have cancelled that. But 4 rounds left to go. The gap's starting to narrow a little bit again. But the thing is, in the back of my mind, it is any moment that BBL can answer up. It's not even waiting for the next round when the full buy comes through. They're just as dangerous here with pistols.
ಹಿಂಗ್ ತಿರುಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೊಂಟೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತಾ
Here and there to play with as well, but very situational ones. And the ult for the defenders is pretty much useless. get rid of one of LaRock's
So
weapons.
ಹಂಗೆ ಸ್ನೈಪಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು
Kankan's push
ಹೆಡ್
already
ಶಾಟ್
gets an open. Chichu very
ಮುಗೀತು.
open ground, had a high low, but
Nice.
it ended up a bit low in the round. Gianni at least keeps them the advantage. The Nightfall has been sent through, and in quick succession, both players pick up a kill. Nobody's been bottom of the team so far.
Nobody is the one who is
They need him to
allowing
win this one.
controls and
Not be the easiest. Good flash, LaRock caught in the corner.
Well,
And caught by
last one.
nobody. It's been a rough
No.
map for this guy so far, but the win now fills his sails.
ತುಂಬಾ
Again,
ಏನಾದ್ರು
a
ಜಾಸ್ತಿ
necessary clutch. BBL
ಹ್ಯಾಕ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ
constantly
ಅನ್ಗೊತ್ತು.
on the edge of running away with this. And yes, it's game.
I think they were all
EDG
laughing after
done.
that one because it was definitely a little bit more
I don't
shaky
know.
after you fall blinded with the flash, but very well played in the end. And well, you mentioned timeouts earlier. It's going to be BBL taking one. 3 rounds in the lead, but feeling the pressure. And I don't think any of the opponents
And then the
look
second
any
moving,
easier on paper.
is it
Your
release
4 force
16
hierarchy,
maybe
100 thieves.
ರಿಲೀಸ್
So
ಅಂತ
it's going to be very interesting to
ನಂಗೆ
see
ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ
whether or
ಡೌಟ್
not.
ಇದೆ
in a
ನಂಗೆ
sense
ಹೋಪ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ
where,
ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ.
hey, your opponents have picked it after not playing
I
it.
need
You
to
can't
stop
have
with home.
prepped
Mom is giving.
anything
ಯಾರು?
going into that map.
ಹಾ
You start to
1
feel
second
pressure.
guys, I will back.
And for BBL, we already mentioned it, winning this map, having Ascent up next. Said in the end, never know what EDG are going to be pulling out there, or how high up the power creep can go as we get. Later into this series, but into the game. Away from a showstopper, but that's not going to come online here. That's for a future round instead. Kreven playing it slow. The problem is, without opening that door, Jenny's going to know you're coming from this direction. And Kreven, it's been so long, he doesn't know where his opponent's gone.
A single bullet needs to be a headshot. Gianni will be there to close the round. It is close to an all-time clutch for Kreven with 5 HP, but it is still the streak of rounds going. Now again, it's incredibly costly for EDG. They were already on the back burner just getting an operator into the round. You see why they got the operator, because of how fast Kankan is. But the snake in the grass this time flips to the other side with Gianni having another big round on the Raze. Of course, as I said, we've seen him on Duelist in the past, but it's him swapping back to it for this. He's looking fairly comfortable.
Yeah, good work by Jenny. Just sat in the corner. Shame that there was no utility for Kreven to make that an uncomfortable fight on the other side. But for LaRock, that's a very big scalp to take early on. Jenny, not liking the odds of taking this round. Showstopper goes through and he finds LaRock. How? I don't know how he survived, got his weapon out, landed the shot, and now BBL, okay. They'll recover the rifle. They'll deal damage to Jenny. But the advantage sat firmly with the defense for now.
Weaponry dissipating. A heal onto Gianni as well, so although he took damage early, that's now dissipated, and the other side can't have that same sort of luck. Kreven is down to just 45 HP. It would need to be a couple for Kreven. He's gone back, but he's walked straight back into the hands of Kankan. That operator still in hand. And for Rose, well, he's not been having the best of games individually. Might get one for free. The second player could be a little bit harder to land, but he knows exactly where Kankan is. Knowing and doing anything about it is a very different story.
Yeah, well, this is a team in the form of VDG that looked completely deactivated. They were making so many basic mistakes going through that first half, even a little bit here. But we always knew it's a matter of time before they wake up. I was starting to think maybe it would be a map, maybe it would be a series. But it looks like they found their form right in time. BBL slowing down, and another timeout, the second for BBL being called, and quite quick succession as well, as they're finding no answers to what EDG are putting out.
I feel like we're getting early spoilers of sort of what I was talking about in the next map, where it's like, oh, why would they go towards Ascent? It's like, well, if you can have KANNADA with an operator on the defensive side, he might just kill everyone.
Yeah.
That's kind of what he started to do, like lightning fast reactions on the operator. And then you still have the likes of G2 up the top of the board. Gianni started to wake up. We know that they have so much individual talent that even if a piece of their puzzle has been removed, the stand-in at times might not even have to do too much. And right now, well, what's that? 2 pauses in 3 rounds? 2 rounds? Like, you could see that BBO are really feeling that pressure. And you have to start to fear that if you let this map slip away from such a massive advantage, I don't know if the next one's even going to be remotely close. I think it is. It's within 2, right? Because they lost 3 in a row. They took a pause, lost 2 more, and took another pause. So I think it is literally.
EDG comeback start ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ I guess.
Round 22.
PPL ಗೆ neck to neck
1
fight
round gap
ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ.
now. A team that was trailing and deactivated has found their way back into the game.
ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು ನೋಡಿದಿರಿ.
Second win, but it's KANNADA to fall right away. Larox had no look on the show.
ಇದು ಯಾವಾಗ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ಮುಗಿತೆ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ.
Pushing up to 12. This could be the round for BBL. Good damage though. Jenny hunting down his prey. Blood in the water. And he's hot on his tail. The classic trying desperately to find him, and it will be nobody to do it. At least dealing with 1, but still a man advantage for BBL. And now the time is ticking in their favor.
Oh, they're using everything. This is literally just blitz all your ultimates at once to try and scrape your way through a round. This is a must win now for BBL. They'll have nothing into the next, but they are taking this one home. Signed, the stand-in, the coach in a 1v4.
Actually, BBL can dominate because he'll iradu only signed ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
Now listen, maybe he'll be
a
replacement on the main roster if he wins.
He can do 1v4 or they can take 1v1 with him.
Leaving to the other side of the map, fleeing for the save. 12 for BBL.
Okay, I guess this
it felt like an
sorted.
inevitability 6
BBL
rounds
won.
ago,
Nice.
and yet it has been a good streak from EDG.
But that's not recreatable at all. Like, you can't
That
use
was a big ult dump.
3
So Karvanti, hello no.
in 1 round. And okay, sure, Larock got the opening anyway, but the
Hello
showstopper
everyone,
definitely
welcome
helped
to
get
the
rid
stream.
of G2.
Thank you so much for joining. Sorry, chat ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ.
Okay, I'll say that the Steel Garden didn't really do anything other than slow 1 player down at least a little bit. But it has also put the economy on the back burner a little bit for EDG. No operator on their side. In fact, it's Lovers Rock. Now, they do have a Blade Storm. That's going to help, but there are definitely pieces missing here and there. And an immediate 4-player aggression. KANNADA 1 for 1. The nade won't quite kill off Loiter. And after seeing that many players, surely that's an immediate response from the attack to go back the other way.
KANNADA's dealt with. Chichu still alive, and with the TP as well. He can move to this A site if noise is heard, but Sign not yet getting the read. And the push coming his way. Now a lot of utilities making its way in. And in a moment's time, you're going to see Lovers Rock looking for that opening on the up. For Signed. Oh, yeah, I think he's going to walk into it.
உங்களுது பலிசு எந்த இந்த வருஷம் வந்துக்கிறது.
Everybody on EDG, they have shut down that push. The danger averted. 12 to 11. We're going the distance no matter what.
Yeah, so I mentioned
Take a
it.
second
You
on.
get rid of the ultimates. And that round, even the last one might have not gone their way. And that
ಇದೆ ಹಾಕಬೇಕು ಸರ್ಕಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲ.
how they would have hoped for that
have
one
an
to go.
image
The
in the crop
individual stepping up. That's it.
ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ
Signed,
ತಗೊಂಡು
1-14
ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು.
right now.
ಎಷ್ಟೋ
He's
ಬೇರೆ
holding his own within the server. A man that was playing in the Ascension system last year. So as said, it's not like he is way out there of a player who's not ready to jump into the server, but it's still a lot of pressure going up against BBL. Some of the best aimers you'll ever see, and while they're going to try and play off that now, Lovers Rock immediately with an opener. The trades were going their way, but they're Signed. He's now leveled up. 14 to 14. At OT.
ನನಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ?
It almost feels inevitable at this stage.
Loida might be able to get some work done, but Nobody is sneaking up on his left, and he has no idea. Great shot from Nobody, and with Signed on a 3K, Overtime
Again,
locked
when
in.
see
EDG.
literally none
They, like, I can't stress enough how out of this game they looked at a certain point. The mistakes they were making were unforgivable. Like for BBL, I could see a world where they win this, where they even look dominant on any map because they have the individuals coming out the gate, shredding. That wasn't the case. It was mistakes on the other side, and now that EDG have tightened up the game, it's looking
Oh,
a
ಇದು
whole
type
lot
game.
better.
I want to go the other way with it.
Bro,
BBL win both pistols. They win, I
how
think,
we're
2
missing
rounds
each
off
and
of
every
straight BS,
scene.
and now they've gone to OT. This is a choke and a half. Like, they were handed the map, and now they are in overtime. Like, the pressure is severely on them. I don't think
Neck to neck
EDG
fight.
could have given them
Literally not
anything
starting
more
ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ
to take this game over
both
the
country
line.
people are
If they
like
lose from here, I'm not gonna lie, it's a
ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ
little
ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೂ
embarrassing.
ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲ್
You
ಆಗಿ
come into a
ಇರೋ
set then with
ತರ
a
ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ
different mind
ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್
frame than
ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್
the
ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ
quasi advantage
ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್
you might
ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು
have thought of
ಬರ್ತದೆ
for
ಸರ್ವರ್
BBL
ಫಾರ್ಮೆಟ್
early,
ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ
that
ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್
hometown
ಫಾರ್ಮೆಟ್
hero when it
ಹಾ
comes to
ಮಾತಾಡಿ
the
ಕಟ್
82nd
ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ
province of Turkey. But you come in after a loss like this, and I'm not sure that matters at
Panigra.
all. Confidence will take a knock. For EDG, a slow
Will
start
ಬಾಗ್ಲು
to this
ಕ್ಲೋಸ್
attack
ಮಾಡಿ
side. They've seen so many aggressive rounds out of BBL. Think about that C push especially that had a lot of success for the defense. So they wait. And now, push comes to shove. And that was very dangerous. The spike was involved in that fight, but it does make it out. Man advantage. Jenny, they know he's tucked in the corner, and they want to deal with him. That's a bold play.
What happened?
Can't go with an attack side operator.
Seriously, guys.
He really has not been missing. He's got one every single time. It's only if there's someone ready.
Is the one left here and one is one by one he can take, I guess.
Not going to be caught.
ನೀವು ಆಡಲ್ವಾ ಅಲ್ಲ just watch batting.
Paused. They have left their opponents with little to no information. The corner being flashed, by the way, just to make sure there's nobody there. Rhodes is already dead. They were still wary that there could be a second. But now with a plant, and an advantage extending even further. The lead looking like it's going to be taken. And Kankan, you know he's not going to miss that shot. Lovers Rock needs to try and recreate it, and it is all. But over 13 to 12 now. EDG
dominating a world, guys. Literally.
And even this defensive round, it doesn't have that same flair as what we
like
saw
both are giving neck to neck fight.
Every time. And now, shoes on the other foot. It seems like EDG have the plot armor. They have
actually starting ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ BBL domination ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇತ್ತು. When it comes to second matches ಯಾವಾಗಿಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅವಾಗ EDG ತಗೊಂಡ್ರು ಆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ. ಈ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಏನಾದ್ರು BBL ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಈಗಲೂ ಟ್ರೈ ಬ್ರೇಕರ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ತರ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಓಕೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಿಗುವ. Oh bye, take care. Thank you so much for joining.
To close the map here and go on to a set, EDG's map pick, and often a hometown map for any Turkish team. Go in there.
Turkish team,
a blow like this, that'll be a huge advantage. I think they just noticed he knifed the prowler. It might be Kankan with the op. Why wouldn't he shoot it? Okay, let's go the other way.
ಎಲ್ಲ ರೊಟೇಷನಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ರು ಬಂದ್ರು ಹಂಗೆ ಹೆಡ್ ಶಾಟ್ ಹೊಡಿಯೋಕೆ ಆಯ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
The attack side going to try and take back that space towards C. Kankan in position once again, and of course he doesn't miss the shot.
Oh my.
Leaves them a man down, and the C side executes.
ಒಂದೊಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಫೈಟ್ ನಡೆದಿದೆ, ಒಂದೊಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಏನೂ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋ ತರ ಇರುತ್ತೆ.
The side is completely under their control. Before they'd had signed on that side of the map.
4v4 with the situation.
A pretty good opportunity.
Plant coming through. Going to be onto LaRock. Still 2 away from that showstopper after the plant. And look who's sneaking his way in. Chichu's gone for the spam. It looked like it was on for the start.
One god crazy.
Drops his weapon and goes in for the fight, but that's not going to work. And with him taken out, the rest of the squad a little bit further behind. And online, the round is tied BBL not going to let this one slip just yet, and they'll get another chance at that defense.
Time match, guys.
Back and forth continues. A much needed one as well. I feel like that resets this into an even playing field once again. I was just worried they were going to completely fall out of the map after it coming all the way back to overtime. But it seems like BBL still have some fight within them.
This is also like a time match.
No surprise that Kankan's invested back into that operator once again. The defenders looking to re-aggress towards that seaside, but Kankan is waiting. This time not missing the shot, but he has missed 2 players already on the walk-up.
ಸ್ನೈಪಿಂಗ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಷ್ಟ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ.
Same space
ಸ್ನೈಪಿಂಗ್
state for
ಕೊಂಚமா
BBL. This
ಕಷ್ಟமா
time,
இருக்கும்.
without the season play, a little bit of a different layer to hopefully allow them to push through to give Lovers Rock the chance to clean house. On the other side of the map is where EDG
No, how
are
the
focused.
people
Spike
doing
outside
like
A.
crazy.
A jump spot that they're hearing every couple of seconds, but they don't know about Rose. BBL are setting traps on each extremity. Finally, Lovers Rock has walked up. He's hearing the steps into B now. He knows the play, and they are none the wiser. But the shot
One
still
gone, one
land.
gone, one gone.
That was a huge play.
One
Perhaps
gone.
round winning. BBL
Just
are gonna have to
missed.
find something else to fight with.
He can't keep up that fight. Means there's no longer going to be a flank. The paranoia is perfect,
Oh,
though. That's the advantage.
fine.
Nobody waiting in position. Kreven, however, catching. This is looking like a round set up for
No.
victory. But still, Kankan and Chichu wait, but it's a missed shot. An uncharacteristic one at that, and a flawless.
BBL on top of what?
They need one more attack side round, and they'll finally close out the map that they started.
Yeah, it certainly wouldn't be the
Yeah,
blowout
one more.
victory that it looked like.
Last
A
match to go.
complete mismatch in that first half. But the same can be said when you look at EDG's play in the second. For BBL, this
There's
is the
a
chance to
value.
take it home.
The last
Attack
one
side's been kind
match,
to them in that last overtime.
It's gonna decide it
was
should be a
LaRock
tie or
having a
tiebreaker.
fantastic round.
I don't think so. It's
Finding
gonna
that
tie
showstopper online to close it out.
because the aggressive
like they will
maintaining
put
by both teams are
A lot
very
of
good.
focus towards this left side of the map. 2 players outside B, maybe 3. We can see that door swing open and an immediate challenge at the C site.
I genuinely start enjoying this game.
Where we've seen
Oh.
Sam playing a nice shot from nobody.
He
off the
gave
rip, but they're
damage
still
and he went
continuing the
back.
walk-up, and Jenny's just waiting on the
Done.
cross. All too easy for those initial openers.
Two
and
gone already.
losing 2 personnel off rip. You almost feel like it needs to be a mistake for somebody over on the EDG side if they're going to turn this round back.
Oh yeah, they'd have to trade out the mistakes made by BBL.
Oh.
You're just about going to
One
survive that
HP.
on one
Heart attack,
HP.
heart attack.
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah,
That's
okay,
it.
ಆಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ
Kankan
heart
doesn't
attack
miss.
ಬಂದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಸತ್ತೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ.
No, he doesn't.
We're
hit
gonna
the
die
best
if we,
shots.
I mean,
Outside.
we're gonna die
Waiting on
if
the
we
side.
play
Flash
the
form to swing
FPL
it. Oh, he
matches.
doesn't swing. He plays it patient, plays it slow. Maybe that's a mistake. Nobody now dropped and signed under
Oh,
pressure. from
is
the
that
right
coming
side
or
of
is
Lovers
this?
Rock. Now all eggs in that basket. Good damage done, but whoa, it's a bit shaky. They get there. 14
Why
to
that?
14. Another overtime needed.
Yeah, just kinda
Again,
like,
tell
this
you
is not winning
what.
the entire tournament. It feels like we could be in for the long haul here.
You have to wonder though.
I thought
how the
BBL
hell
gonna
did nobody get a kill and get out when 3
take
players were
that
looking at
they
him?
can win this
What
match, but
the hell were they
EDC
thinking? And
EDC
she's
giving
walking
neck
through.
to neck
That
fight
was
for
like
them.
2 seconds later. Where do you
First
think
match
that
only
was
they
gone?
give you,
And
and
it wasn't even him.
No,
They've got
that was
another
what it is. They
teammate.
looked and they were like, oh, nobody's
after
there.
that
Nobody's
they're
there.
just dominating that.
14 to 14.
Oh my god.
Kankan survives, but not been purchased up on the other side. Seeming like both teams have now found their rhythm, but
Kodu.
only one can take this map over the line. The map choice of BBL.
Oh my god.
Definitely feeling a little bit more tentative than what we'd seen so far in this map. Less fast
Because
paced
the both
rounds,
are on ties.
patient
How
stuff, and
can
this has been a big point of
you can chill and play?
Kreven just spams into the smoke again. This seems to be a regular occurrence of just players picking a timing,
Please sit
spamming,
me. Let me sit
and almost
properly,
getting
guys.
a kill.
A minute on the clock.
Hey Sindhu,
Still
welcome.
spread
Thank you so
thin.
much
The
for
Spark was
joining.
alone outside B, but now it's regrouped. Okay, danger's averted, but the problem is this bait setup. We saw it before. From BBL.
ಇತ್ಲಾಗ
The
ಇವರು
jump spots
ಬಂದ್ರೆ
there from Lloyd.
ಅತ್ಲಾಗ ಅವರು
He
ಬಂದ್ರು
sees them and hits the paranoia, but instead he swings out wide.
ಒಳ್ಳೆ
goes
ದೆವ್ವದ
down.
ಮೂವಿ
Rose has to
ನೋಡ್ದಂಗ್
have a
ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ವಾ
sensational performance. It's
ತಗೋ
a shot
ಒಂದು
he
ಹೋಯ್ತು
couldn't
ಎರಡು
do.
ಹೋಯ್ತು
But
two
one
down.
At least for BBL, it's just
Two
a
down.
one-man disadvantage, and they've got the rotates in just in time. Lovers Rock.
ತಗೋ ಪವರ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡು ಓಡ್ದ
To
ಇವನು
hold the line, the
Oh my
early flank
God.
from LaRock.
Three
but
down.
Kankan just keeps ripping them to shreds. It's
Crazy
EDC with the
EDC.
lead again, and another chance to
Crazy,
close this out.
crazy by
He's just been getting
EDG.
better and better as the map goes on. Like we've been saying, it's a lot of the time it's been
Because we're
one-on-ones. This is
expecting
him
we
finally
were
playing
gonna
the classic,
dominate, but
walking
here
into
the
side with
whole
an
mind
operator,
is
finding
changing.
another couple and then closing it with a blade storm. The better this guy gets, the scarier things become. By the way, you remember when Chi-Chu was like miles ahead of the top of the board? He's now third.
Concom was 15 and 15. So he's had a little bit of an awakening.
Yeah.
A small amount.
Really, बहुत मैच मुझसे
And
रमन
it
गए
is
बीच
scary
में
to be in
but
BBL's
3
camp right
amount
now.
में
The attack side having to be mounted again. That spam was decent. The Rock tagged up. No more bullets fired. He'll survive that engagement. Oh my god, Lover's Rock is going so
oh
fast.
one down
He's
one
got
down one
Chi-Chu
down
completely off
oh
guard.
fast the
And
people are picking another down
Lover's Rock belt. How's
Rock
he gotten away with it?
crazy
Now pushing in for more. A third will be
Rock
found.
is
This
on
one
top.
not quite caught off guard.
one more
That
guy
makes it even more impressive. Con, yeah.
well
he
event
has
last
had
one
an
last one
awakening,
left
But this might put him back to sleep.
Zim.
A 1v4 with an
it's
op.
that Sim
You gotta think he's got no chance.
he did planted or who
Yeah, I'd say so. Doesn't even have the shields to play with, so can't even take the additional little bit of tickle damage. Like, I think he's just waiting to say, okay, sure.
no one is here you can go
Someone starts looking.
did he can do
hunting for an
1v4
additional
or
kill.
the 4 them with
They do not. He's still gonna get one. Again,
Okay.
it just seems so clean with it, but
He
this is
did one.
just stat padding at this point,
Woo.
and eventually Lovers Rock will close out with a 4K.
BBL
It's almost
one
identical
about.
to the last
BBL
round. The
one.
Duelist with a 4K closing out the round, and we are about to head into round number 31. Map 1. The entirety of the tournament is going the distance. But eventually, or at least I hope, we do have to find a winner.
It's round Surita how
I think
many
so.
rounds
Well, Tom, we've had some long games in our past. We've had some lengthy affairs.
Yeah, BBL were one of them.
Yes, they
Not
were.
time out
iteration of it, but it was BBL. I'm hoping they're not going to do that.
Again,
Yet, especially
defining-
with Ascent coming up next. The opportunity for it to maybe even be even longer, but I'm going to see
and
ourselves
15
a
matches
timeout
so you got
taken.
2 rounds I mean 31
Chance to talk through with the coaching staff once again. Of course, Key was pretty much trying to stem the bleeding all the way through that comeback from EDG, and he failed to do so.
EDG
now
was
whether or not he
doing
could find
comeback
that little
crazy and
piece of
colder
magic.
because
We've
that's
seen
not
a
like
lot of the attack side rounds that
unexpected
sort of
comeback from
defaults into
EDG
the
we can
pacey
say
hits
that
have been what has worked for either side, and with both
that
star
unexpected
duelists stepping up over the last couple of rounds, and we always talk about it, that the rest of regulation becomes irrelevant. It doesn't matter if you got 30 kills or you got 2. If you can win an OT round for your team, that's all that matters at this stage. And well, thankfully we don't have anybody in the server with 2 kills. It is a decent spread with both IGLs clearly having to work overtime. And LaRock going into OT has bought a judge.
Naturally, and he's going to find success with it as well. Now, if Jenny hasn't just hit his desk, I think that's what I heard, and I'll be very surprised. That's an upsetting way to have the OT round kick off right after the pause. EDG down a man, attempting to take some space on site. Chi-Chu has a nice paranoia lined up, but it hasn't caught Krev, and he's stood up on top of the wall, and he's been spotted, but the blind was good in return. Krevin's found himself too. Signs surrounded is dealt with, and BBL on 16.
Yeah, I think that might have actually been a coach adaptation. They've been walking into that smoke, tripping the wall. Sometimes you've had IGL Rose in that smoke, waiting for them to come through. They killed him. This time you just put a judge there. You walk into that smoke, you're dead to rights, and then they have the players ready and waiting. Solid paranoia coming through from Loiter as well to help out his teammate. And then Kreven just landing the shots as he always does. 16 to 15. We've seen these constant back and forths. In fact, we're creating a parallel timeline at the moment, but that means this time we need a defensive round from EDG to keep this one going.
Well, Concon's being the one to find success, and again, he's walking about, pushing up on B to start with the flash blinded, so he knows there's someone here. Instead of continuing, he will wait for them to walk in, but this one, an uncharacteristic miss in a very crucial round. He goes in for more and misses once more. This could be it. EDG have lost one big player, the top fragger on the server, down and out. Jenny tries to pull it back, but he's traded, and Lovers Rock finally seems to have sealed the deal. the A site, the plant on its way. And nobody in Chichu, all that stands against them. Nobody's had a tough game, but he stepped up in the moments where it mattered. And Chichu, well, he was on a tear. When this team was down and out of this map, he pulled them back in so many of those rounds in regulation. Now they have to do it again.
It's still so tough to break in on.
New Year actually Bangalore.
Flash ready and raring to go. On the other side of things, the walk up at least, but it's been pinged. They have an idea that somebody could be going through. Never mind. Chichu made it past. Loiter's position though. Are they aware that
Rock
they could
also
be going
went,
over towards the box, trying to create a crossfire, trying to
I guess
force someone
Loita
into a
will
peek, and
take
that's what
a-
they've done. Chichu once again, his opponent team
Chichu.
and they are gonna turn it back. The time looking like it's gonna be enough as well. That is insanity from the side of EDG. How have they pulled back that 2v4?
I said it. And nobody's been there in the crucial moments. And Chichu, again and again, he is digging deep for this team. Everyone talks about Concon, and for good reason, but this guy's been the highlight. Look at him go.
He
How
went
many?
quiet as well, though. That's
He
the
did.
crazy thing. He had like 20, or was it 17 kills in the first half.
Yes.
Went missing for a bit and then goes, oh, you guys need me again. Cool.
It was like those last 5 rounds of the second half turned it up to another
Wait, is that a
level to keep
kill?
them alive, and he's done it again.
23.
Map point. And up against BBL going into Ascent. God, that could be series. But now, EDG, they get another chance
Equal,
at this attack side. Fight straight into C. They're wasting no time on this run. And indeed, wasting bodies case Concon. He's found his first already. Rose catches. No, he doesn't catch the wraparound. Jenny's left on 7 HP somehow.
They're gonna do dominate EDG
Chichu, the
now.
man up against him, looking for the fight, and he'll win it again. No
EDG
doubt
gonna do
about it. This left the one to
dominating.
Lover's Rock. This is not the gun you want to have in this scenario. Well, nobody's there to close it out. Swings and roundabouts once again.
EDG
back and forth
playing
of
like
this
a
game.
rocket, guys.
Guess what? EDG have another at point.
I can't believe Jenny just survived there. Rose was on his tail.
Because
Jenny was blinded up, looking the wrong way. took a
starting
few shots, not even
EDG
knowing
was
from
started
where,
now. That time
and ends up surviving on 7
we thought
HP. That's the face
BBB. Sorry, what's that?
But also, who knows this map?
BBB
is
will be
slipping
the
away now.
dominator one.
EDG,
And now the
17 to
whole
16.
tapped
It's a
cheese
matter
and
of
it's
time
turned into
before we see
EDG.
2 in a row. In the
Is
same
it?
overtime,
Is it?
I mean,
Is it?
30 and 31 technically, but they were different OTs. You know what I mean. And for EDG, this could be it. They dealt with Concon early last time. And this time, another missed shot. But that was a harder one.
Oh,
Oh,
already. A much faster.
powers
pace
are
kick, but
good
it's a
here.
ruse. It's a bait. They're pushing them in towards
Nice
Sign,
power.
who's ready and waiting, but already getting smoked off. Chichu also with paranoia, but I think they're past it. They are past it. A little bit further ahead than maybe he's expecting. One of the danger men gone. A post plant once more. But if you could lose a 2v4, you could definitely lose a 2v or 4v5, sorry. And well, let's even things up once again.
That was what should have won them the round, leaving Lover's Rock behind Rubble, but nobody cleared it. Nobody checked for it, and now they can make their way back to the site. Hard to find value with the up breaking through, but he finds it in the choke points. With the rock down, it's Rose left, and not for long. EDG, they dug deep and delivered map number 1.
What
It's insanity.
happened?
I don't think I've ever seen anybody with an operator
I need to
get that many
process it.
kills with that position. It makes
EDG
no
is
sense
this.
that Concon is just able to sit there like a turret from above.
Indeed.
And for BBL, this is a brutal defeat. You were so far in the lead. You took double pauses in the space of 3
But
rounds.
compared to
That is
EDG
crazy.
is starting
Nonetheless, we're
what
going
they
back
played
to the
is
Eagles and
so
the Digs.
different. Starting the gameplay was like okay,
Thank
and
you
then
very
it's
much,
so
Tom and Mitch. That was
Oh, they-
crazy to have
you
that
didn't
happen like
dominated.
that. Just insane. We're getting ourselves free Valorant off the top. I know that we had the pause to kick things off, but we basically had half a game right off of that one. Welcome back to Des Degon here alongside Kukuka
Degon.
and Big Time. And it's just a great way to have our first round of Valorant here at EWC.
I mean, welcome to the EWC, people. I mean, this tournament.
We just need to experience
It was
those
absolutely
things, guys.
unbelievable. I think
Literally.
are gonna be so upset about how that game turned out. They had every advantage.
Okay,
They had
132
two
matches,
pistols,
38
a
matches
bonus,
रहता है.
a ninja defuse.
And
Crying out loud.
Ninja defuse was
Oh, man.
unreal,
EWC.
and also is by the hands of Lovers Rock. We were speaking about him going on the neon. He wanted to go face to face against Kankang, and every single time that Kankang was getting around for EDG in an impressive manner, Lovers Rock was like, I can do that too. I can do that too. I'm going to show you how. Crazy the fact that we got there onto the overtime, and also we were saying about EDG and playing in with a sub. I think that Tom and Mitch were doing a very good job highlighting some of the mistakes, but also the way they bounced back. Some of the players, like some of the individual plays that we have seen just during this first map of EWC have been unreal.
Yeah, I mean, you got to talk about Kankang. He is the guy for EDG. He always has been, and he has a very slow first half. You know, he's down there.
ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ EWC ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಸೋ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಬಿಡಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ BPL ಬಂದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಡಾಮಿನೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತು. I don't know much about game. That what I watched was like domination. ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು EWC to.
Towards the end of that first half, where the score was heavily in favor of BBL, the Kankam was like, "What if I grab the operator?" I know that the economy, of course, when you're losing so many rounds, it's very difficult to even think of like a tool that is so expensive but so effective in so many maps that we have seen across the entirety of Valorant, having that attack and operator that actually I think mentally got to bounce back, because we were talking about the teams being here and the stage getting loud. I have never, and I am from EMEA, heard Loita scream the way that he was screaming at them. The rest we see sometimes here and there, but Loita's kind of like a good boy, you know?
Yeah, let's take a look at some of those highlights here, because again, the gameplay required the pop-offs that came out there, especially in overtime. EDG started
Mic ಸಕ್ಕತ್ತಾಗಿದೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ. Headset mic ಸಕ್ಕತ್ತಾಗಿದೆ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು. I'm just concentrating on ಏನ್ clarity micದು.
This was BBL's map pick, and we talked about coming into it.
Starting ಅಲ್ಲಿ BBL ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಾಯ್ತು. If they continue that ಏನಂತಾರೆ ಆ ಲೆಗಸಿನ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ they will win that one.
Take a look at some of the big moments.
We have to say it once again. ETG.
But it's okay, it's a game. Someone need to win and another need to lose. It's fine. But like, I love the game of BPL. Starting nominations ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು.
Showstoppers, I feel like we were seeing
ಇದೆಲ್ಲ highlights.
some of them were so impactful. The kills across the smokes, having those kind of preparations, they're so important right now.
And ಒಂದು smoke ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊಡೆದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಅದು crazy.
Honestly, the highlight for me was the entirety of the match. I know that it was very of the map. I know that it was very long, you know, but I feel like everybody had their moments to shine. Like that clutch where Krevin was in.
This was nice.
One kill away from getting like I think it was a 1v4.
This
were absolutely insane rounds. And if the rest of the tournament is going to be like this, I mean, the bar is already incredibly high for the rest of the teams.
Yeah, I think one thing that jumps out at me is the pause that was used in overtime, the timeout that was used in overtime by BBL to
praise
make the
ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ
adjustment
ಅದು
on the
ಲಾಡ್
push.
ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು
It's
ನಾನು.
like, all right, we're going to sit back with the judge. You can see every
This one.
not just the players, the coaching staff as well, on point here, because
1v2 ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅಲ್ಲಿ like ಅದು
in this group
ಅಲ್ಟಿ
stage to
ಆಗಿತ್ತು.
work your way on out, get that first win.
Yeah, I can't believe this is map one.
That's what literally ಅಲ್ಟಿ ಮಾತ್ರ.
That makes you love Valorant when you get into it. The tactics on both sides, the shooting, the individual brilliance of a lot of these players really just coming to shine. But I think now as we move towards Ascent, the
Actually
question has to be
ನೋಡಿದ
for BBL,
ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ
you
ನಾನು
have to
ಯಾವುದೋ
find a way
ಮಿಸ್
to
ಮಾಡಿದೆ I
reset
don't
it,
know.
because this should have been yours.
There is something very important that Tom was mentioning, and is the fact that, well, map 1
The fusing ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ
you are from EMEA,
fuse
you know the Ascent,
two times ಏನೋ ಡಿಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು.
hell of a long map for that one. And
Intense
especially
ಆಗಿತ್ತು
considering
matches.
that both Kankang and Lovers Rock are leaning so heavily into the operator, really looking forward to see
How they
both
managing
matches,
screen
from the
time
teams.
guys?
We did
Literally
see,
ನಾವು ಇಷ್ಟು ದೂರ ಎತ್ಕೊಂಡು
BBL
ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
being Ascent
Literally
when
ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು
qualifiers
ಕ್ಲೋಸ್
and
ಅಲ್ಲಿ
the
my
deadlock.
god.
See if that we're going to see that again. And most importantly, what is ETG going to be doing? Are we going to see something very vanilla, very boring? Probably because of the situation that they're in. Actually, that calls for both of them. Like, what would you do? Because you have experience coaching. Okay, so what would you do? Would you go for? Sorry, would you go for? Okay, we're gonna play it simple because we're playing with a sub, or let's go with something spicy. They're not gonna expect it.
You know that they got something spicy. I want to see them take risks here. This is game one. You know, I think you have a little bit of time to experiment. It is that GSL format, and you're a map up. So you know, they can play that kind of pretty standard, boring comps, but I don't want to see that. The one thing I do want to see is KanKan on the Jet. If he's on anything but the Jet, I will storm that stage myself. And
What if
cancel the
it's
game.
a chamber?
Oh,
Best
okay.
of 3.
You've convinced. I can see Chamber.
Okay, ಇದರದ ಇನ್ನೂ
Down.
3 ಮ್ಯಾಚಸ್
I know
ನಡೆಯುತ್ತೆ.
that it calls for a Jet because it's KanKan. Like
Yeah.
also like he holds everything. What about cheeky Yoru?
No.
No?
You
Okay.
lost me. You lost me
no,
there.
no.
We've
I
gone
thought that
too
I think you
far.
like
Didn't we talk
something.
about it? The Yoru was one of the reasons why EDG started struggling a little bit. The meta moved away from that.
But
and
that's
now
exactly something that they're not going to expect, but you are right.
I mean, they won't expect it. We won't expect it.
Well, again, this is the 4th most played map here for EDG on Ascent. I feel for BBL because they had him on the ropes, right? You were just a couple of rounds away. You had so many in the pocket. They tried to call it a timeout at 11-8 to be like, hey, let's
One
settle
second.
down.
I will
EDG's
back,
warming up
guys.
a little bit, but we have so many rounds in the pocket from the first half. We should be able to close it out. What's the starting?
But, we've seen the PRX players talk about this in the past. You've got to have that short-term memory loss. You've got to have that goldfish memory. You've got to be able to put these behind you because they know that they played well enough to win that game. It wasn't a question of the level of Valorant. It's a question of composure.
Right.
And we know, we've seen them have success over in EMEA. It's not like it's not like they're known to crumble. They
Yeah.
just have to remind themselves that they are good enough. It doesn't matter who's on the other side of that stage. It doesn't matter that they're world champions. You're capable to win this game if you play the way you can.
I think that we can also think about how aggressive they were from the defense, especially here on Lotus, and how much are they going to learn about how that worked out? Because that aggression on the defense that gave them so much, like even when they got a pick, sometimes the overheating was there, and they need to learn to get composure in those kind of situations because also it translated to the attack, making a lot of unforced mistakes.
Yeah, well, we are underway here in Paris. The champions of China take the first map, but BBL will battle back here on Ascent. Don't go anywhere. You're watching EWC 2026.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by Play.
We were there. For every click, every clutch, every respawn. We were there for the years of grind. And we're here. Now. The proud founding partner of EWC. Powering the biggest event in gaming. Shoulder to shoulder with the world's best. Making history. Greatness deserves a stage. Lenovo Legion. Reach your impossible.
Welcome back to EWC Valorant 2026. Digon here alongside Kukuka and Big Time. And yet again, we're back. It's EDG 1-0 over BBL. EDG, the #1 seed from China up against BBL, who started off on fire in EMEA. They qualify on in as the final seed. They lose their map number 1. Now we head to Ascent, Cuckoo.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be an interesting one also because of the bar that we were speaking about, that first Lotus set. But also because I think that they have to calm down.
Kim
I know that the
Augusta.
beginning was a little bit difficult because we have
Break
to wait and
ಮುಗೀತು.
whatnot, and that might throw you off. They tried to stay
That
on
much-
top of that, but it really looks like EDG has adapted very, very quickly to the way that they want to play. And it's because they have a lot of experience. It is very difficult to throw something at EDG that they haven't seen before. The aggression, yes, is going to work because trust me, BBL can shoot, but eventually EDG will pick up.
Yeah, for sure. They're so good at adapting. You see how they get themselves back into the game in this second half. Their defensive side especially was so solid over on Lotus, but now towards Ascent. So it's EG's map pick, even though they've been banning it. But Ascent is a notoriously Turkish map. It's a map where the whole country seems to thrive through that, you know, they have that pure aim, that firepower. You see it time and time again. So I think this becomes really hard to predict, and I do think that the idea of mental and composure is everything here.
Morgan, but this could be what we want, okay? So Turkish Valorant, right?
Yep, I'm there.
So they win Ascent, and then what do we get?
Sunset!
Exactly!
That's what we want to see,
There's a
people.
plan. You need to plan. You need to plan. It's all here.
Literally,
All right,
appa.
let's head on over on stage as they are getting ready for Agent Select. As, again, before we toss into the match here, I want you both to pick one player to step up, right? It's all about earning things here. Nothing given, everything earned. Who's going to be the hero for each team?
Can we wait until we actually see the agent picks, because I want to know what is going to happen with the sub situation and if they're
That's
going
true.
to playing in a different role.
That's true.
So for that for the side of BBL, as I was saying, I think that I know that the one that didn't put up the numbers was Rose, but that is also the way that it is in EMEA, and he always says that he is just there to make everybody else shine, and with the players that he has, it's very easy to do something like that. To me, I kind of want to keep seeing the operator duel. I'm kind of really enjoying the Kang Lovers Rock because none of them is scared of the other.
Oh, definitely
And I
not.
think Lovers Rock started so hot in that map one. He was consistently finding those openings down C with that operator, and you see it slowly come to a stop as Kang begins to activate. For me on the side of BBL, if he's able to be consistent, he can do so much work for them, but he can't afford to fall off, or you start to see that composure, that experience from EDG outshine them.
Composure, experience, and also the mental side of this. We always speak about how it's easier to bounce back from a game where they just destroyed you, from a map where, as we said, they had everything in their favor.
Agent
The two
Selector.
pistols, some crazy rounds, the ninja defuse,
Attack
the ecos and
modeling.
whatnot. So let's see where they are right now.
Yeah, I mean, we have the Agent Select coming through.
Oh,
but
chamber! Okay.
it's getting spicy for EDG.
And the
on that chamber.
Sage!
And I love the
Oh,
Sage here.
I love this!
See, no, you asked me, Kakuka, do you
Oh.
want to see them play standard, or do you want to see them get a little bit spicy with it? And they've
Look at
done
that, they
exactly
can't
what
I
they're
love
loving.
this.
But on the side of
Chichon
BBL,
Sage, oh
Yeah.
god. Okay, seriously, I want this to be an absolute stump from EDG. I cannot believe that I am saying it, but I want them to destroy right now with this composition. I want them to give them confidence to keep doing it throughout the tournament and to do it in China as well.
I will say it's going to be tough in this first half. They have to attack into Cypher deadlock without much to really be able to burst through. Not a lot, no verticality. Only the Phoenix there as that solo duelist. So I think this first half is going to be crucial for that double senti of BBL to be able to build up some numbers, put a real stop to EDG.
Yeah, again, this is a Group A matchup, EDG and BBL, alongside RRQ and 100 Thieves, which will play later on. You want to get that great start here, and for EDG, they were on the back foot and showed the spirit of a champion, forcing that overtime, time and time again, going to all 5 overtimes, 34 rounds, but get the job done in that last map on Lotus. Here, pulling out this composition that is exciting. It's changing things up. As you said, it's been banned. Ascent has been their ban, and now showing up with something new that maybe BBL won't be prepared for.
And it's also the change of roles, right? Like we saw Jenny going in the race on Lotus. Now he's on the Omen, and it's going to be Signed, who is going to be going on that Phoenix. There's a lot of weight on his shoulders because we see that even though you have the chamber and whatnot, looking forward to what Cheech is going to be doing and how cheeky he's going to be getting with the Sage.
Yeah.
Especially for them on the attack will be to force the players from BBL outside of the site, just play for that plant and then just play for the post plant. If you are EDG, you have a lot of tools to try and delay them. I want to know though, from that post plant, how aggressive they're going to be.
All right, here we go. Already one map win here for China as a region. They only had 2 map wins overall all of last EWC. Let's see what happens here. We're going into Ascent, EDG and BBL.
Alrighty, it's time to get into this map number 2, Tom. If the first one was anything to go by, well, it was, I think we might be in for a long day. But Kukuka says she wants to see a blowout for EDG. A one-sided affair from start to finish.
It's kind of mad that we have an EMEA traitor in the form of Big Time on the desk, and now Bayer's starting to do it too. I feel like there's a full conversion coming in, but we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, I would still love to see a lot coming out, but it's Kankan already managing to get a couple of openers. Chichu finding another as well. We were worried about the entrying in towards the site, but it seems like Kankan has them covered in the pistol.
Rock and Loida with it all to do, and well, for anyone that does want to see a blowout in favor of EDG, this is the start you're looking for. Look at Kankan already sneaking up behind. It could even be a knife kill being plated up, but said he's going to grab the easy one, confirm the kill, 3 under his belt already, and Larocque with it all to do. Should be impossible and proves to be 1-0 for EDG. And this pistol gives a lot of value to this EDG side. As you heard from Big Time earlier on, this first half is going to be crucial for BBL, playing the double Senti. Now, look, we've seen over time, and things do change as different metas evolve, but I think especially with Deadlock, that double Sentinel on the attack side isn't as weak as you would think. You're missing some pieces, sure, but when you do get onto the site, you can lock that down. You have a lot more flexibility in terms of the utility you have to stop floods, to stop early aggression as well. So it definitely does still have its benefit, but I do agree with him that this is the half where it has the most for most teams.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to be the case for both teams. It's like you're going to... Normally with a Phoenix, you'd expect it to be more attack-sided, but I think just having those contact flashes is really good. But then also, you've got a Chamber and a Sage, both of which are always pretty deadly when it comes to that defensive side. Already, Kankan has managed to walk into their spawn. Now, of course, this is an eco round. I can forgive it in an eco round. In fact, it might even be worth it happening now rather than any other time. Instead, he almost gets a collab. It's going to be a stronger weapon would have done the trick.
Chat
Already, though, getting towards that tour de force, which is a pretty scary prospect, and another ult that's building up now is the
No one is there, huh?
Of course, Kankan is the one to make that play.
Where is Ivan, you know?
Play in the form of Marshall. A very clean round for EDG, but I understand BBL in this round, you don't expect to see a player fishing for information like that because you're risking giving a weapon over, and often grouping up, taking that clump play is what works. Kankan really sealed the deal without any danger exposing his teammates to any. Now, the formality out of the way. The first 2 rounds, a little bit more predictable, a little bit more standard, a little bit plain. But now the spice comes into the mix. A bye for both teams and a strong 3rd round for EDG. I mean, this is a bonus, sure, but they have credits and they've got pretty much a full bye here. McConkon already 5-0. A tour de force might not be far away. So for BBL, you need to be careful. That's a little over-aggressive, I thought, from Lover's Rock, but he does get out with 1.
Yeah, had the
Hey,
dash
this was
available.
nice, huh?
That's going to be enough to allow him to escape. And now the contact. I like the wall boost. It gives them an angle that you wouldn't normally have. The spam damage has actually done a significant amount, and the Molotov's going to force Loiter into a move. Even still, though, both players still standing, and now you have that barrier mesh put into play. Even still, though, a hefty amount of damage done onto those couple of players that definitely makes things a little bit more uncomfortable on that side of the map.
Oh, it's going to make this
SPP
push a lot
ಒಂಥರ
easier.
ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರು
BBL hadn't
PvP
rotated
very
certain
different.
players into position.
PvP
That's the other problem. Now, 4 standing by here with Rose covering the flank, and they will slowly walk away. They did make some noise. I think LaRock will have heard that. But often that's going to be a bait from the attack side to get you to push, to get you to peek, or to get you to
The
rotate.
last 15 minutes live
Has
and
to get something.
There's
because
3
it's first
players
0-0
on
da,
that catwalk.
I'm a bit
Not even looking at it.
confused
Shot
ಅಂತ
no!
ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು.
He gets nothing.
This has been a problem. He's been in good positions, but he's never been finding the
They're going
kills, and
B.
because of that, they're going the other way. Now, the only danger is that they are a little low on time, but they're going to get past all the utility before that's a problem. And also, they've caught Loiter on the other side. This is an opportunity for a great start, especially with a lurking Kankan wrapping around the back and the re-swing as well. A nice attempt from LaRock, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.
Great read from EDG. The second that they killed Rose, they realized, why would he be there?
Yeah.
It's because they've already rotated because we made so much noise. Instantly, they direct themselves towards B. What would have happened if he just stayed tucked, not even took a shot? They would have ran with 20 seconds left into a 4-man stack on a site that has a lot of choke points for those numbers to hold. That would have probably been a lost round for EDG, and a mistake there sends EDG miles into the lead. A 3-0 start and a very low buy for BBL in this round. They're saving credits for the next. And a 4-0 for EDG is a terrifying prospect, especially with the second round being clean. They have a lot of credits built up, and if this is clean as well...
A lot of credits, no
Very close to
ultimates
max.
used yet because they didn't get to any of them, so now they're built up for this round, and there you go. Run it back just to try and send it through some of that utility. Early pick coming in. Oh dear, another opportunity, but not taken. Kreven's only going to get the one, even still trading back into a slightly more even scenario. The Bucky on the side, then they're just not checking. They're not checking. He lands a shot, but it barely does any damage, and the spams will be enough in the end. It's not clean. It's not pretty. It's not a round I want to remember, but it is a round for EDG.
Yeah, I'm really glad they used that run it back to avoid any unnecessary damage taking place, or in other words, to avoid losing the round, because they didn't clear Kreven there. He should have even gotten more, and then Loida ends up landing a tag with the Bucky close range. This is very nearly a lost round, but hey, they had a lot of wiggle room to work with because they had a lot of credits built up. So the important thing for BBL there is, yes, they did damage. Yes, they kept the squad a bit more modest. But the downside is EDG don't really care. They can come into this round with a full buy. They can go into the next one with a full buy. They have a tour de force to work with as well. So not even investing into the operator and still having that one-shot weapon on Concon.
Which one?
Exactly.
With him, it's all 3. Oh. The Rock. Annihilation is available. But it's picking a time to use it that will be more important. He's definitely slowed them down. I like the little aggression up the top. Then use the Annihilation. Tries to make it harder to break. Instead, he's spamming forward. And Rose will be the one to find the kill. Loiter in the corner has also done incredible work. And although it's taken them a little bit of time to get going, this one will be clean.
And you can see why this comp is so strong on the defensive side, or why Big Time was talking about how important this first half will be for BBL, or more so for EDG, because the second half will be a little easier, but pushing into this Senti comp should be tough. And here you see exactly why. You have a Cypher set up on B, you also have a push in B as well, and then that Deadlock utility not only helps on a main where they run out into a Sonic Sensor and get stunned, giving an easy tee up for Loida to slam dunk at home, and then on short as well, you have the net going through, the kill from the net, and then the ult, which also caught a player who was hit by the net. So when you're out of the ult, you can't move, and it's the easiest follow-up of their life. For the defense, yeah, you get that one, but a lot of that came off LaRock's setup, catching them off guard, and the ult being online.
Early bit of damage, but looking like a much more direct take. Again, though, that sensor in an aggressive position and executing onto it could cause an issue. Instead, they're going to try and utilize the Hunter's Fury to give them a little bit of extra space. The problem is, hasn't found anyone. They don't know what positions are cleared, and they do not clear LaRock. Another great start to the round. The net has actually caught 2 players as well, but he's just making sure they stay safe at this stage. A lot of early damage, and sure, there's a res available, but is there an opportunity to use it?
Look at where the bodies are. Not only are they behind the wall, but there's 3 players ready and waiting for that res to come through, or for another body to come through that
And
choke
mid is
point.
covered as well with the operator.
No risk of the rotate back, and then because they've got double Senti, not only do you have that Sentinel slowing you down on the A site, you have information for BBL. Nobody on the B site, but a camera and a trap waiting there. And yeah, it won't be ideal if EDG just walk in, break the trip, and get a plant, but that's why they've got this man around. Lover's Rock realizes they have enough time now to have rotated, so he's set up and waiting for them.
Been hitting one here could be enough.
12 seconds.
They also know that they're rotating this way. He still doesn't have any friends to play with at this point, but the TP to the back of site, he could just ignore it, or at least try and wait out a little longer. His teammate in position, and he has done the work. A back-to-back flawless round from BBL. And this time, well, I'm a little happier to see that it was Lover's Rock on the other side of the map. No offense to Rose, but he's definitely been having some fairly devastating whiffs in this game so far. Lover's Rock, not so much. He's been having a good day.
Well, there was a point, like 20 rounds into the last map, Rose had only killed people who were looking the other way. So
Yeah, and even when they were looking the other way, he still didn't get a kill.
I think it was about 50% conversion rate, so which includes going into the overtime, the run around onto Jenny. It's
Look,
been
he's
a
the
rough
leader.
day for Rose.
And sometimes he's hella clutch.
Sometimes the leaders call from behind, back behind the front lines.
Yeah.
That's what he's up to for now. But we have seen it, like even going through the qualifier, Rose was dropping 20 like almost every map. It was definitely a standout for this squad. And that's the thing, right? BBL have a lot to fall back on because he was the one that was discussed when they were going through that Ascension run through the Tier 2 that like, oh, all of these guys, the young guys on the team are going to be in BCT. Whether they qualify or whether they get picked up, we know it's going to happen. But people were like, oh, even if they make it, even if they get all the way through, Rose is going to be on the chopping block. He's old, he can't aim, and all these things. And then he showed us right away, even through that run, that wasn't what he was, that he had that extra gear to shift to.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to see that here today because it has been a slow day for him.
Yeah, I think as well. He's one of those people where a lot of people will focus on the IGL stats. I think if you're winning games, it's completely irrelevant. Like, the fact is, this squad has talked about being like a family for quite a long time. I think that's why when Comeback initially left, it was a devastating loss. But Lover's Rock, the man who replaced, quickly became a new member, an adopted version of that family. And the thing is, I think it wouldn't be the same without Rose in it. You'd have that firepower, but you would lose so much more. Now, a good couple of rounds, like not just, okay, you're looking at the scoreline 4-2, you're saying that's not great. 2 rounds where 0 people have died on the defensive side. And that sets you up wonderfully for rebuys. If you want the operator, you can have the operator. And I think for EDG, it's going to be fairly important that they break back quite quickly. But this round, not looking too likely.
No, but I mean, Headhunters on Con's basically an extra rifle every round. Raz online for Chichu might bring Con back, so that's an extra gun every round. And
so your strategy is basically pass the wheel. Pass to.
Oh. I know what that means.
Okay. No time to explain.
Okay. But I'm sure that is my strategy. Unless it's a bad thing, in which case it's not my strategy.
No, it's a reference some people might get, some people might not.
I'm the latter of those. You can explain it to me for tomorrow. That's a trap broken to start with, but there is a second one here, and this was the idea from Previn to have that little backup to give them space to contain the walkout, although not through the alley, but playing this very, very slowly. Initial contact on B. B players now from the defense in that direction, but this wall's going to cause problems. When you... Oh, no, it's not! In fact, it's going to cause problems for BBL. Rock was walking up to it to have a little look.
Oh my, okay, maybe the pistols are actually a benefit rather than doing any damage. Con with 2 Previn. He's trying to save the day, though. The problem, though, is if they can get the spike, they can leave. Oh, a res there. Yeah, I was about to say, that would just be sending that player into the wolves. Instead, space is being taken. Con's retrieved the gun. The res is available, so maybe he could play a little bit more aggressively. And he's been spotted, rotating in towards that A side, but being spotted and dealing with him is a completely different story.
So no chances for the res in the end. Plant to come through. Con goes down. Of course, you can't bring him right back. They're split. An op on the retake as well. Lover's Rock will take his time, making his way through A main, hoping to catch an angle. and find that shot with the up. His target right down below. It will be Con in hell that he's searching for. The barrel's been spotted. He knows now that there's one there. Kraven's trying to pull them out into the open, and he does a great job at that. Lovers Rock there for both of the final kills, but a big round from Kraven gave them this chance.
Oh, yeah. They should have been dead to rights. Was it 3 picks going the way of the attack side in quick succession? 2 for Con. His lurk timing was perfect. Nobody then wins the fight, and then Kraven just turns the round on its head. Mr. Impact himself saving them once again, and it's going to be at lead, slowly slipping. The 4-0 start for EDG. Obviously, what we can say is it doesn't matter too much because we've seen what they can do in the second half on a on a defensive side. But I'm sure after going that far into the lead, they will have wanted to at least look to try and convert the half.
Pausa técnica mola. We'll be taking a breather, but what we've seen so far is exactly as Big Time said. You know, I'm starting to think he might know a thing or two about Valorant, but I'm not too sure yet. He said
it's not about food. He knows nothing about food.
No, absolutely not. Although, ask that man about a fruit platter, and he'll tell you a thing or two.
He is an expert. He is a big fan.
Intimately familiar with that.
Yes.
But he said that the double sentinel composition was going to be key for BBL. Key? Well, let's put it this way. It's the key for BBL, and it's the lock that EDG have to break. And when it comes to this defensive side, when it comes to the rounds BBL have put up, all 3 come off the back of those sentinels. Kraven, not so much with the utility.
I don't know
no more him popping off.
It's a bit of a stretch.
But him playing the anchor is the reason that he's over there, even when there were numbers, even when they dealt with those first few players, he was still there.
What was the first blood of the round?
I don't remember.
It was one of the Sentinels getting caught out by their own utility and being shot in the head.
Oh, the wall.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's the other thing we got to talk about. You throw the wall there. Okay, maybe you're trying to clear there could be a guy in the corner. I mean, he's going to break the wall if he's there. He'll give that away in a moment. He's not going to sit there for 40 seconds. Why did he go walkabouts? Why did you walk towards? That's like you throw the wall, rotate. And now we've got info for a bit. But that was a different approach up against an eco. And I honestly think he got exactly what he deserved.
Well, for now at least, EDG do still hold onto the lead, but you're starting to see, as you were sort of alluding to, the terrifying prospect of what this composition can do on the defense, the awkwardness that it can create, and even just, again, like seeing that operator have impact from Lovers Rock, it makes me quite happy, because I think we talk about the pressure put onto players to perform immediately, and when Yoro was nerfed, it was clear that he had to sort of reinvent himself a little bit. He was one of the best, definitely within EMEA, maybe even the world, on that agent, and it became almost his character. Like, he had to keep going in that direction, and when it got nerfed to the point where it didn't have that same effect, he's had to change, and that has definitely taken some time. We saw some vulnerable, some weak performances when it came to the EMEA stage, but he started to get better towards the end, and I think we're seeing that now, leaning more, even more so into the operator, and especially on defensive sides, I think he's a force to be reckoned with.
Nice little angle as we saw the boys get ready to get back into the game. EDG setting their seats up, gave that same aura as like the Space Marines suiting up. And this could be a big battle for EDG. It's been a struggle up against this defensive side the last 3 rounds. A lot, oh my goodness. A lot of control for BBL in the passive plays. They've walked out with the operator. Lovers Rock finds one, and he's scot-free out of there. If he goes now, that's a beautiful start to this round when so much of it has been about sitting back and waiting.
No smokes.
Now they take it to them.
Okay, they got smokes again. Rez baited out, but no control gain. Normally you might send a player in, they get traded, res them, you have an advantage. In this case, no advantage whatsoever, other than the fact that you really need your smokes. And more so far, been a rough map for Gianni. He was looking very good in the previous. Oh, this is a different task, and Loiter has gone walkabouts as well. This is almost becoming disrespectful from BBL. Walking up behind, Lovers Rock also then finds another pick. The remaining 2 are in some serious trouble. I think the net catching one, and LaRock finishing his prey.
A very different face after that timeout, the breather that we had a moment ago. Of course, it wasn't a strategic conversation with the coaches, but this is the read the players had. We want to play a little bit more aggressive. Get back to how we like to play the game. And as I said, after finding 3 rounds in a row off the back of passive play, I don't think EDG saw that one coming. And after the first bit of aggression, I don't think they saw that second one coming. Nor should they have.
Is this, I can't remember if they took one in OT. Is this the first tactical pause we've actually seen from EDG?
They did take one in overtime.
Okay.
I believe.
In regulation,
Oh, actually,
then.
it could have been because they get them back in
Yeah,
OT, so
yeah,
it could have been BBL again.
Yeah,
You're right.
I think we
I'm
didn't
not
see that
certain.
one. We definitely saw like 2 from the BBL side.
During
but even when they were
regulation,
very
we saw
far down,
2, yeah.
I don't think EDG took a single one. But after losing 4 rounds in a row, I think it's also just the manner which they're losing them. Like losing picks to the operator, irritating, using a res to get it back, irritating, and then being full flanked, like a player managing to push all the way up A. That's a problem. And it seems like what's happening right now from the BBL side is they're doing a good job of disrupting whatever play the attackers want to make. Like, okay, you have a plan to do this, well, now you've lost a player, and you're trying to react to me rather than going in with your own plan. So we'll see if they're going to manage to fix that. Of course, again, weaponry is going to be a bit more of an issue in this round, and they don't have any ultimates to play with, bar if they can get an extra orb for signed.
This is a nice spot. That goes there.
Well, barriers up again after the timeout. Round number 9. Someone set to take the lead. Lover's Rock. Not going to hit the shot to start with. It going back in. Flash. Well done for Sign
He's
to at
going
least get them
again.
around that corner, but this madman is going in once more.
Too much.
Yeah, a little bit too much.
It's
He's
an eco,
punished
bro.
massively. This is again it's against pistols. And now you're playing up close, Rose, and you're a madman. They pull out a flank again. What is happening in this game? BBL need to tighten up the gameplay. They've gone pushing on short against an eco. They're making every cardinal sin, every mistake in the book. 3 versus 5 now. Weapons recovered for EDG. Run it back online, and Jenny's probably about to just... Okay, put the rock to bed. Never mind. He's at least going to be dealt with, but still the advantage for the defense when they shouldn't have had anything to say about this round.
Oh, dear. See you later, Rose. And that leaves Kraven on this site alone, under serious pressure, being rounded on by the ultimate, and he goes for the player behind, hoping that maybe the second fades. I don't mind his target selection, but I do mind just about everything else in the round.
I think he even realized, I'm going to get traded here no matter what. I might as well kill a guy that won't come back.
Yeah.
Like, it makes sense. It's the right call. But yeah, this... I think just call a timeout if you're BDL. Because what the hell was that? You have I can't believe a triple peak.
Well, also
Not 3 players,
the third one.
3 peaks back to back.
Okay, I still don't like it, but if he was full HP and he goes for the third one, I'm like, that was silly.
But he had his dash on, so he was like,
he had 45 HP, I
Yeah.
think, when he goes for that swing. I'm like, hey, you get body shot out of the round.
Yep.
Like that's crazy. To
do
try and
that,
attempt it.
To then push short as a response after to also leave the space during that fight for a mid flank to then push short. It's actually the short push is probably just the right play in response to everything else. He just lost the fight.
Did he see the scope?